everybody, and welcome back to SOS Season 3, Episode 27. Is that correct? I'm pretty
Correct.
sure it's
Yes, it is 27. Yeah. We got it wrong last week, actually.
Yeah, we were back off one. So I had to make sure we adjusted for this week. Good to see your beautiful faces. Good to see your beautiful faces, chat. And welcome back, Tracy.
Woo!
Nothing happened last week. You didn't miss anything. It was actually pretty boring.
Yep.
Good to see you.
Yes, of course. Yes, that's.
You wouldn't go watch the episode.
No.
You wouldn't go because you desperately need the latest tea on whatever's happening.
I do, and I can't help myself. But you know what? Ava has been gone. So
yeah, Ava's been gone.
She knows nothing. So
Exactly.
yeah,
That's good to have you back. I hope you're excited because I'm excited to have you back.
I'm very excited.
We left off with your character in a particularly interesting place.
Yep. Yeah.
How you feeling about that?
I'm nervous because I don't know what I want to have some negotiations with these people, but I don't know what they want. So
No, fair enough. We'll see what they want exactly here in a little bit. But how are you doing, Dot? How you doing, Bub?
I'm alive. I'm thriving.
I'm alive and thriving.
Yeah. I got off vacation. I'm like back. I'm kicking. Nothing. There were no shenanigans last week. No plotting. No scheming.
I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I'm hankering for some pecan pie. Okay?
Ready.
I'm getting fried turkey this year, is what I'm told. So.
Ooh, fried turkey.
Yeah. Like I guess they just deep fry that thing in a big old tub. I don't fucking know.
I'm
Texas, dude.
just a big old pot.
Just a big old trash
and they
can.
deep fry it via the heat of summer. They actually started
which never ends.
Months ago. Yeah.
No, it just doesn't ever fucking end out here. I hate it. I love Texas. What are you talking about? I love this state. I can't wait to leave.
Well, I'm going to a Friendsgiving where there's a giant lasagna being made. Thanksgiving
my favorite
lasagna.
foods of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm hungry. All right. Well, we got to get through this first. Everybody who's here, just a big thank you for showing up as always. You being here and watching the show supports us. But if you want to go above and beyond, you can do that by subscribing to the channel. Get you some emotes. It gets you access to the VODs immediately. And it goes to the supporting pretty much everything we do here on Pod by Night. And if you want to, or rather, the subscriptions go toward very much funding SOS happening. And if you want to fund everything that Pod by Night does, head over to patreon.com/Pod by Night, and you can see all the multiple different tiers there. Get you some neat little behind the scenes rewards. Get some neat little insights in our after shows. At the high enough tier, you can even participate in basically what's a canon community game for our other podcast show, Stitch of Fate, Crack Crown, etc. And if you just want to support the show by just being there for us and talking about the show, you can also just join our Discord, which is 100% free. And how many people do we have? Did we cross 1,000 people? I know we took a bit of a break, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did.
I think we're close.
We're getting
real close.
Wait, I can find this out. Keep talking, Mathis.
Yeah, but going there, there's always conversation happening about one of the shows that we're doing and theories flying around, excitement and all that stuff. And I just love kind of stalking the Discord. It's a lot of fun. Other than that, just head over to youtube.com/roll for it. If you want to catch all the VODs for free, if you're not subscribed, you can head over there and just watch seasons 1, 2, and 3 as it's as it goes. Usually the videos here go up a few days later over in the YouTube channel for free. So yeah, that's pretty much everything.
823 members.
Yeah, we're getting
Thank
close.
You. Bob
we're
beat me to it.
Damn close. So go join it if you haven't. We hang out with us. We're cool people. We promise most of the time. It's vampire. You can't be cool all the time.
You know what? No, I'm about to set a thing. I'm about to do a thing. Are you ready? Random impromptu thing. Our 1,000th person that joins the Discord gets something. When we reach 1,000, I'll do a merch bundle. Like I'll mail out a whole bunch of Pod by Night merch.
That's cool as shit. I thought you were going to volunteer me to give him a hand job, so I appreciate it.
No, not live on Twitch.
I'm going to leave the community right now.
I'm just going to keep leaving and joining until we get it.
Oh, get to
That's cool.
it,
No, jump on. We appreciate the support over there. Just having so many people talking about the show is always really cool. There's never a day where there's a notification for that server and there's fun stuff to read
There's
about.
new really cool character art that's starting to come through too from people, which is
shit,
always,
really? I have to check.
There's a couple character pieces that have recently come in for the podcast.
I'm excited.
Pretty cool. We appreciate y'all.
Hi, Tracy. Do you still have that art thing getting worked on, right? Yeah.
Oh wait, you're muted.
You're
though.
muted.
You're.
Yeah.
I just got really excited.
On her face.
Emotion,
She was like,
I cannot wait for it to be done. The artist sent me an update. It's being colored right now because I've been getting all the sketches and now she's coloring it. And I showed Josh. I wasn't going to show anybody, but I was like, I can't not show somebody because this looks so cool. I am so excited for you guys to see it.
I'm very excited to see it.
Yes. So soon.
All right. Well, I think that's everything. Let's go ahead and get the game going. I think everybody's ready to kind of start this show. We will once again, Ava, we'll be picking up with you. We have to rewind the clock a little bit. So let's set the scene, rein things in, and see what Ava has been up to. Our vision snaps into view, not gradually, but instantaneously, in sync with the sound of a shutting car door. And as our vision comes to, we sit in a small vehicle, just behind the driver and passenger seat. On our right-hand side, just adjusting herself into the passenger seat, where we can see outside the driver's side window of the restaurant that you were supposed to meet Grant at, we see Ava. I imagine she's maybe a little nervous, maybe a little bit eager to see what's happening. And the individual that met you there slides into the driver's seat just as quickly, and the car begins rolling off. Before anything he says happens, is there anything that Ava is interested in saying, or how is she keeping to? Like, what do we look at as our camera pushes forward and gets like a profile and frontal shot of Ava? Is she? I imagine she's not giving way much physically as to how she's feeling, but internally, what are the thoughts that we might be hearing here? What's Ava feeling?
Ava is just hoping. She's thinking about some of the last things that this individual said to her before they went into the car. He had mentioned things about him potentially knowing about what's going on in the city. And I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It's been a while, but he did hint to that. And so she is like, what do these people know? How long have they been in Chicago that we haven't seen them in our years of living here, if they're even in Chicago? Like, she's just trying to figure them out, because as far as she knows all of the Camarilla, she knows all of the Anarchs, she knows all the people in Chicago, all the kindred. And so, like, who are these people is really what she's trying to figure out.
So does she say anything does she stir conversation at all as the car rolls out and we can see the lights on the city streets start streaking by in a rhythmic pattern as the darker buildings around you kind of blur by, but pedestrian life is still rather lively this early in the evening?
You know, she might. She'll try to pry a bit more at some of these questions she has, and just kind of, I'm usually used to knowing everybody, you know, the one that knows everybody kind of person. And I've not seen you or your friends. Is it just him, by the way, or are there other people?
If you look around, do you take like time and look around the car?
Yes.
Give me like a wits awareness, or even a wits investigation if you're like really peering.
I'll just do a wits awareness to see what's around me. That's just an awareness.
That is just awareness. Close, but no cigar.
Ignore that. Okay.
There we go. It's a wits. It's not a wits awareness. That's a wits roll.
Wait, is roll? I'm sorry.
I don't know what roll 20's doing, but it is not having a good time.
Hold on. Awareness. I actually started using Demiplane, and I haven't used Roll20 in a while since we last played, so I forget that I have
I've never used Demiplane. Is it? It's
good? Actually not too. Oh, of course.
Oh
now
my
the right
God,
time I roll,
bro! Are you serious?
0 successes.
You can spend willpower if you want. I don't know if this feels like how much willpower do you have? Also, everybody who spent willpower last episode during combat, you gain half your willpower, half your maximum willpower back.
I got 4. We'll play. It's fine. Those were some warm up rolls. I'll re-roll 3 of those dice. Sure. 2 successes.
And 2 successes beats a normal difficulty. You slip into the car, and as the car kind of rolls off, it's not like you turn around and start peering around. You let your keener senses help indicate if you feel like you're being. If there's somebody else in the vehicle with you, you don't seem like you hear anything. Even the quick glimpses in the mirror, you don't see any figures behind you. In any way. And again, as the car kind of rolls off, it just seems to be you and this guy. He's somewhere in his maybe mid-20s, early 30s. Doesn't look like he's not well kept in any way. He's just wearing common kind of clothes. And if you were to pass him on the street, you probably wouldn't give him a second thought.
Okay.
Okay.
So sorry, it's the guy who I met at the bar,
Just
and then
and
this
you.
other and me.
That's it. Nobody else is in the vehicle with you.
Okay. So yes, I mean, I usually know mostly everybody, and I haven't seen you around. Are you new to the city? It doesn't seem like you do, based on what you told me.
He gives a chuckle that seems truly genuine. Nothing that like he's laughing at you or anything, but just almost a laugh that you fall into a stereotypical toreador kind of question. And he shakes his head. He's like, "No, of course you've not run into me. It would be probably bad for us both if we had bumped into each other any time prior to tonight."
Well, I'm honored that you're finally showing your face then.
He smiles. One of the biggest things is I need you to know you trust me. I'm not going to kill you. I don't plan on removing your head and reducing you to ash or peering in to gain any undue knowledge. But I think you and I, and maybe even your friends, actually are all closer to the same page than we realize. And so, who else am I going to speak with? The Gangrel? The Nosferatu? Toreador are a pain in the ass, don't get me wrong, but you're one of the easier ones to talk to.
I would agree with that, at least. I enjoy being a thorn in the side. We don't like to use the term pain in the ass. We like to use the term thorn in the side.
What about thorn in the ass? Can we meet in the middle somewhere?
Fine. I'll be a
Thanks.
thorn in your ass. But I trust is something that's obviously gained. No, I don't think you're about to kill me. If you wanted to kill, it's the usual. If you wanted to kill me, you would have already have. So
he actually again gives you just like a genuine chuckle, and he just shakes his head in disbelief as he throws the blinker on, about to take a right-hand turn.
Yes, well, I'm sure you are not going to tell me your whole life story in this car ride. So you know.
Got that right. You damn right.
All right.
So just as long as you understand, we're not going to here. We're just here to have a conversation. And the one you were supposed to meet at the restaurant, don't worry about it. He'll be there waiting for you. And he gives you like a smile. No harm is coming to him either. Trust me. We saved you guys a little bit of stress. You really think the Camarilla didn't have ghouls of their own sitting in that restaurant waiting to watch you and him have dinner, learn anything they fucking could with all their ears and eyes on you? We did you a fucking favor.
Well, how can I say thanks? Well, good. I'm glad that he's safe as well then.
So with all that said, I still know, you got heavy ties into the government here like most people do. I'm not looking to undo that right now. But I do have to let you know that I can't risk you seeing where we're going. So if you're fine with that, I'd like to be able to blindfold you properly and make sure you don't.
Exciting.
You're okay with that?
Sure.
I need to make a roll.
She definitely is going to try to be a little playful with this.
Sure.
She's got to play into this,
I rolled incredibly well. As you say, sure. Though you were certain nobody was behind you, it's difficult to detect those who are invisible, like many Nosferatu. And as you let out a giggle, sure, we simply see the tip of a wooden stake pierce through the front of her chest.
Yes.
You go immediately stiff. And he goes, I'm sure you're freaking out right now, but I'm not going to let you use your disciplines to figure out where you are either. When we get there, stake will come out. He gives you a gentle pat on the shoulder, and whoever was behind you quickly throws a bag over your head.
All right.
Because you can still see.
I ain't being flirty anymore. I'm a little annoyed. Fine. You know what? Obviously I have to comply now, so I will comply.
And you don't hear any voice or conversation from whoever was sat behind you. You simply hear what might have been the creaking of leather as they reposition themselves back on their seat. But you can no longer see where you're going, and you can't use any disciplines right now. However, you can still hear what's going on, the driving. And if Ava wants to make an attempt, the amount of, you kind of have an idea of where you were. It would be very difficult to like pinpoint where you are. But if you have a high enough intelligence and a high enough, I'd say, academics, I let you make one attempted roll to see if you could listen to blinker noises and see if you can maybe have an idea as to where you are in the city. But I'm telling you right now, that is a 5 difficulty. You need to beat 5 successes to do that.
Just curious what the role would be academics and intelligence?
Yeah, it would be
or
unless you can streetwise would work as well.
Let's see, survival.
Intelligence has to be part of it because you kind of have to be mentally mapping it. Would you say Dot? Sorry.
Survival.
I would allow survival. Yeah, I think I would allow a survival.
I mean, I got 5 dice pool for intelligence academics. I'm gonna just make the roll and just
give it a shot.
Ava's got nothing else right now.
Try and pinpoint where, at least in what direction you ended up going.
Academics, intelligence.
Because you don't know what street you're turning on. You don't know how far you're driving. The infrequent stops. Wow, beautiful job. You rolled. You literally rolled every dice a success. Fantastic. This restaurant on the map was in closer to downtown Chicago, Toreador territory, of course. You move as far as you can tell. You seem to be going. You certainly think you're going north because that's where you were heading. And you didn't take too many turns. You didn't take like 2 or 3 left turns or right turns to kind of turn you around. And you believe you might be a little further west than north. Or rather, a little further north than west, but somewhere in the northwest. Your character might range anywhere between Austin Village and Belmont Central, somewhere in that area.
Okay, got it. Okay. Just good to know. So Ava will make note of that.
Yeah. The drive lasts for well over an hour. And again, no conversation is had. He actually just cranks up the radio and doesn't make any jokes or allude remarks. He just puts on basically like just some like modern pop music, just kind of blow out most of the noise. Cranks it up really loud toward the end, especially. And eventually you feel the car come to a stop. You saw, of course, nothing. And as the car comes to a stop, you hear the crank as he throws the gear into brakes and the car turned down. The engine shutter stop. And he goes, all right, I am, he puts a hand on his shoulder. The bag ain't coming off your head. Steak is. We're going to walk into a building and I don't need to carry you in or any of that shit. Make me look more suspicious than I already am. And once we're in the room, bag will come off and we can talk. Got it? Good. You don't say he just says got it. Good. And he's the one you can reaching behind you and he grips the base of the stake itself, and with a quick thrust it slides out of your chest. You don't take any damage. It heals up instantaneously. You didn't take any aggravated or anything like that. You just went into torpor temporarily. And your hands aren't bound, nor are your legs. You do have the bag over your head, however. And after he pulls the stake out, there is a beat of, like, I imagine, tense silence of hesitation between the both of you. And does Ava do anything?
Well, now that he's taken the stake out, I'm not playing supervised rules anymore. I think I'm going to sense the unseen. Since apparently there was somebody else there, I probably should have done this in the car.
Lessons learned. I knew you had that power. I don't know if you're going to use it or not.
Now I'm going to use it.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I think it's free. Is it free?
It is free.
Yeah. So you mentally note, like, I am going to make sure I activate Sense the Unseen. And as you do so, if you want to make another wits awareness, you may, because you can't investigate now. You can just simply kind of listen around. Oh, well, Sense the Unseen, can you pop the power? Is it only via sight?
It is. That's what I'm wondering. Actually, yeah. Let me.
If it's only via sight, then you actually, if you keep the bag over your head, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, hidden from the naked eye. Yeah,
all right.
Sight,
when he takes the bag off, then I will activate.
We'll say you can activate it early right now, so that when you're there, it's already activated, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
Fantastic. So you have that, lesson learned for Ava. Perhaps a little sigh of relief realizing they weren't lying about the whole removal of the stake. But once the stake is removed and that beat of tense silence passes, do you do anything? Is there an action you make? Do you say anything, or do you kind of just stay silent?
No, I'll just stay silent and let them walk me to wherever.
You hear him leave the driver's side door first, and you definitely hear the back door open and shut. And then you, within a few seconds, your passenger side opens as you feel the gust of wind kind of get sucked into the car as the door swings. And he goes, all right, just gonna loop my arm under yours. And he goes to, like, gently lead you out of the car. If you go along with it, that's fine. He goes, not a long walk, just a few minutes. Come on.
Okay.
And he leads you. Okay. You enter a building with tile floor. You walk down 2 sets of stairs and enter another area that sounds like not tile floor, not hardwood. And you think to yourself, it's definitely solid. Maybe it's concrete, maybe something along those lines. You hear a rapping knock on the door, and on a door rather. You hear a couple of locks slide open with heavy chunks. And as the door opens, a rush of low sound that you couldn't hear before greets your ears. Low chatter of varying different, what you imagine kindred, probably. As you're brought in, there's not really a hush. People don't like, oh, suddenly somebody's here. The conversation continues. And as the door is shut and locked behind you, he goes, all right, we're good. And he grabs the top of the bag over your head, which is just a simple like black pillowcase, and with a quick tug, you feel that velvet just goes right off of your face. And as your eyes take a minute to adjust to the low, dim orange light, you realize you're in a windowless concrete room somewhere around pretty big. Seems to be some sort of like I would say 15 by 10, kind of longer than it is wide. And there's you look and count. There's 11. No, there's 10 kindred. There's 10 people here that you don't recognize, and Grant.
Oh shit. Okay.
Over in the corner with a few folding chairs and around a flat screen TV that's just sat on the floor itself with sports on a football game particularly. You see Grant with a beer in his hands, chatting with a couple of others next to him, a male and female. They look younger than Grant for sure. None of them are holding a beer, but he's looks to be talking about something casually, gestures at the TV. You imagine sports. And the rest are just kind of hanging around, just standing in smaller groups here and there with conversations of different types. As you kind of take that in, there's furniture. You've got a couch, a couple of actual like chairs that don't match the couch, but there's definitely a couch out there that matches the chairs. And beyond that one TV, there's a few drinks, not much more than that. And does Ava make any rolls? Are you looking to see if you can tell if they're all kindred? If you looking to see if anybody's, basically, I'm asking, are you making a wits awareness of any type? Because you don't have sense the beast.
I do not know.
Yeah.
I would like to just, gather, like, if I can tell who's who. And yes, I would like to sense the unseen to see if there's any hidden, obfuscated, or anything along those lines.
Wits aspects for you?
Yep. Yeah. Wits. And let's see if this works. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna roll 60, 10 because I never know how to do this on my disciplines. Holy mother of crits!
What are you rolling
4,
today?
8,
Jesus Christ!
9,
9 successes. All just to see if anybody's invisible in here, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I want to look real quick on your power.
Woo!
Not even to give them that.
That's my
So as you kind of take it in and you look around, you actually do catch the eyes of somebody who wasn't there before, or at least not there as far as you know. Remember, obfuscate isn't true invisibility. It is the mental ability to twist your memories to make you think they weren't there in the first place. And this time, as your eyes flicker over into the far corner, the opposite side of the TV where Grant is, so he's on the right-hand corner, this would be on the left-hand corner, far alongside of the room, you just see what looks like a Nosferatu clearly with the way their skin gauntly hangs off of their cheeks in a loose fashion. And as they look around and they actually reach up to pick at their teeth, you just see a couple of really large fangs and giant gaps, maybe where teeth used to be. And there's a moment where, do you let it linger? Do you make it obvious you notice them? Like, do your eyes clock for a little bit? No, you just kind of turn.
Just make a note. Yeah.
And as you make a note, and they linger there for a while, maybe 2 or 3 minutes before, without saying a word, without even gesturing to anybody, they leave the room. They make their way to the door, open it, shut it, and leave. You obviously make note of what they looked like. You have a good idea of what they were wearing. They were wearing a jean jacket and long gray khakis, but the khakis looked old, unwashed, and torn in many different areas, and some old Nikes, like white Nike sneakers to go along with it, but no undershirt to the jean jacket itself. That's how you can see so much more and realize how clearly it was a Nosferatu. The idle chatter lingers for a bit, and the guy who brought you in kind of just turns and observes and waits, to almost expecting you to start laying questions at him or start poking and prodding as to what's going on.
Yeah. Ava clearly is judging this place with every look and glimpse that she makes around the room. So he could see that. And she's like, so this is your secret little hideout, is it?
He shrugs. I wouldn't call it our secret little hideout. We don't really stay in the same place for too long.
I can tell. Quaint.
He's
so
like, if your Toreador-like senses have adopted, we can continue. Or if you need another minute to be grossed out, just let me know.
I suppose I've seen worse, so I will survive. But is this where you've been keeping him this whole time? And I gesture over to Grant.
He nods. This whole time, this makes it sound like days. It's just been a few hours, but yeah.
Right. Well, can I talk to him?
He actually just makes an open gesture. Feel free.
I will head over to Grant.
You catch his eye pretty quickly as he walks. As you walk closer, your high heels clicking is almost like a Pavlov's dog response for Grant as he like snaps over to hear heels clicking on concrete. And as he double takes and sees it's you, he goes, "Holy shit, they weren't lying." And he gets up, places his beer on the ground, and goes, "I wasn't sure if I was like, being lied to about whether you were going to be here or not. Maybe I was going to be used as a hostage situation, but they've been, he shrugs. They've been all right. How are you? Are you okay?"
Oh my God. And she just looks at Grant. We need to like put a collar on you or something because things keep happening to you. And
he like looks around and he goes, "Yeah, it's almost like I should be one of you by now. I get it. Yeah.
Are you okay?
He checks himself over. Yeah, I think so. But I know if they poked into my mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm that's what I'm wondering.
I don't ask him, but I don't think I don't think they would tell me the truth if they did.
No. But you feel mostly in your own senses.
Yeah, they even went and bought me a 6-pack because they didn't have anything around.
Oh, how kind.
They haven't told me anything else, though.
We're gonna get you out of here. So sorry this happened. Is there anything else they told you? Like,
listen, I don't know why you're saying sorry. The last time someone hit me, it was with a shotgun in my stomach. So, this ain't so bad.
So what exactly happened? Did they knock you out and then you woke up here, or did they?
No. Actually, to remind you, you saw the security footage, didn't you?
Oh shit, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they approached him. There was a couple of words exchanged, and he walked away.
Okay.
Them.
Yes.
So you don't have to. Yeah, you don't say that. Obviously.
Okay. So did anything happen since you've been here?
Not really. They said that you would be showing up at some point and not to worry too much, that they just couldn't have whatever talk they wanted to have where we were doing dinner.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's not anything involving you then. You're just, I'm sorry, collateral. And I'm sorry that this happened. So
you were joking about like the collar though, right?
Yes.
I thought.
No,
I mean, unless you're into that.
Okay. You definitely are.
I've never been a little, I've never been obedient before, but I'll give it a try.
We can talk about that later, Grant. We just got to get out of here.
Yeah. Can I finish my beer?
Yes. Finish your beer. Let mommy talk to the adults.
That was equally condescending and hot. And I just don't know. He just shakes his head, takes a deep breath, and walks away. He scoops the beer back up, and the people who were there chatting have wandered off. So he just kind of quietly watches the TV with his elbows on his knees, hunched over with the beer dangling between his knees.
Okay, I go back to the nice gentleman who put the bag over my head. And
you don't have to lie if you don't think he's a nice gentleman.
Okay, so
as you wander back over, satisfied?
Yes, he seems fine. Thank you. All right. You brought me here. Your friends are here. Are they all part of your little group?
Not all of them, but most of them.
Very nice. Well, am I going to get the chance to meet them, or is this just a one-on-one thing?
That'll be up to you.
Okay. Well, let's get to business chat then, shall we?
I figured you'd have more questions, but if you're good, we can.
Sure. I have plenty of questions. Like, who are you? And who are these people?
Perfect. That ties into business. So, Ava Heloise built up quite a name for yourself. Hell, the three of you have built up quite a name for yourselves on years beyond that of the Camarilla fucking, within their reach. That's impressive. But it's also been, let's say, less than an open secret that Chicago has been a little bit waffly on its stability over the years, whether that's due to your own actions or not. But in that, sometimes information slips out. Things get out. People say things they shouldn't have, telling people they shouldn't have, making it to cities that shouldn't have. And one of those is something I think you and I kind of feel similarly about. You, as far as I have been able to interpret, I've been working against something a little bit bigger than the Camarilla. We kind of do the same thing.
How did Chicago's best kept secret fall in the ears of somebody like you? I'm going to have to know who your source is.
He leans in. He kind of just like leans into you a little bit, takes a step. Really? You think it's the best kept secret of Chicago?
Maybe not the best kept, but it's pretty closed lips as far as I know. Some of the other Camarilla folk that I've wanted to talk to about it know nothing about it. Are completely clueless.
All right. Yeah. You know what? Fair enough. I bagged you in the head. I rather we staked you without telling you. We threw a bag on your head. Fair enough. I owe you a little something.
How sweet.
I don't know if it's happening to you, to the Camarilla, or anybody else you may know, but a couple of our number here in Chicago have kind of up and vanished, disappeared. We sent a few people to go looking, and even they ended up disappearing. Now we're talking years ago. This is not something that happened over the recent months. This is a pattern over the course of the past 10 or so years. Eventually, we make our way a little bit further into the city without getting knocked off at the very least to whatever's happening to them. And those who were able to come back brought word of there might be something making those kindred disappear. Ended up leading them underneath Chicago, into the sewers, old city. That sound familiar?
These kindred happen to be La Sombra.
There's a pattern for sure. I wish I could actually give you an honest answer. I actually don't know every name and every individual that's vanished over the years.
I see.
But that pointed question certainly indicates that you and I are probably on the same page, at least for a little bit.
Yes. Well, I would agree. It seems we are aligned in that sense. We're on the same page.
Excellent.
And your group is willing to do something about it.
Absolutely. We have been. It's been, a long work in progress, but that's why we're reaching out to you now.
Okay. So you are willing to work with us to deal with said problem.
And you believe that this thing is a problem, correct?
I do.
Good. Then again, same page. It tends to be those of that age and older always tend to be more of a problem than ever trying to give up an assist or give a layup to the younger ones.
Yes.
You know what happened in New York? Stories of what happened to the old, God, they called themselves Giovanni before. What are they now? Hakata? Yeah, Hakata.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure you out, really, is what it is. You're so chill, honestly.
I wish I could be a more complicated man for you. We're genuinely just a small group of freedom fighters. When we get word of olders pulling strings, making our people disappear.
Freedom fighters. So, what is it that you're willing to offer for this cause, then?
Cooperation.
Okay, well, if you're not in the Camarilla, it's hard for me to openly offer you support and cooperation.
Doesn't have to be open for one. And I understand, like I said before we even started talking, I know you're embroiled within the Camarilla. You're fucking neck deep as far as anybody fucking can tell.
Mm.
And that comes with its own problems, its own shackles tying you down.
Mhm.
But doesn't mean you can't work with us on in other ways, maybe less. I don't know if you can call them less meaningful. I'm not really good at this back and forth kind of negotiation shit.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're not here to fucking end the Camarilla. We're not here to end your little coterie. We're here to end the thing trying to end the city.
Hmm.
A temporary little alliance can be made and we can help each other out. I understand you guys are more, like I said, embroiled in the government, but we're not. Maybe we
Hmm.
can help with some groundwork that you can't quite take care of or something. Maybe we can get you some information that ears within the Camarilla could never get. I don't know. I have no genuine offer for you right now other than the offer an opportunity to work together.
All right then. Yes. I think I think this could work. Yes, you could provide things that we can't normally get. And I think it could be helpful. So I'm willing to work with you. Perhaps we can find a way to communicate where it doesn't involve you throwing a bag over my head every time we want to have a meeting.
So I would love to get to that point where the cap of trust is filled with feathers. Ow, my cat is clawing me. Ah, why are you doing that? Thank you. Okay, we're done. I realize it may not be as bombastic as you might have been expecting, but genuinely, that restaurant is riddled with Camarilla agents.
Mm. I assume then you wouldn't want to make your way over to the Lights Out pub for any meetings then either.
I mean, we could, and I imagine we'd be safe in the pub itself based on the rules set there. But once we leave that place, who knows who's seen us?
Mm.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. The Camarilla doesn't fucking like anybody not labeled Camarilla or Anarch, and we don't fall into either of those. Only a few get the lucky ability to live in neutral land as long as you're powerful enough and, as always, old enough. So
Mm.
Camarilla ain't gonna work with us willingly. You, however, I think you see the reality of the situation for what it is above the politics that might hold you back. And that's what we're banking on. And if we're wrong, he claps his hand as is like cleaning the dust off of them. Then so be it. And this was a one-time meeting, and I don't plan on getting in your way, and hopefully you won't get in ours.
Mm. No, the truth is this threat is quite dangerous. The most dangerous thing any of us will probably ever face. And I do think we need all of the help we can get, if I'm being completely honest with you.
We agree. New York didn't go off without help from the inside, too. It works that way. These things are beyond, they're just future prisons to future younger kindred. And that's just not something we can abide by. The ability of the elders to be just latch on to the younger generation's thoughts and manipulate them just because their blood is thicker. What kind of bullshit is that?
Hmm. Well, in a way, I do agree with that. I have younger kindred myself that I want to see have a future after all of this. So I'm hoping that that's really my goal for all of this. So it seems we're aligned in that sense.
Good. I'm honestly surprised that this is going as well as it is.
I didn't quite catch your name, or maybe I did when you were,
I'm not
threatening
even
me
giving you a
earlier.
name, but it was. You just call me Jack.
Jack? Fine.
Just Jack.
I don't have the pleasure of even getting a name. Okay. Jack. Your people here, they're all kindred, I assume.
Most of them.
Most of them. Yes.
Well, just like Grant over there. A few of them are ghouls.
I see.
I understand. I wish I could offer more, but the biggest reason I'm here, and the fact that we got this far in the conversation speaks positively.
Yes.
But I would love to be able to meet the entire coterie. But
Well,
they would need to agree and understand the circumstances of which they can come to see us.
I'm sure I can manage to get them to agree to that. I came back fine and Grant came back fine, so that's already a good sign. At least I hope we will. There's still time. But the one thing I can say for now is this threat, and maybe you can start. This is your homework. You can start helping with this. We're looking for La Sombra. You might know a thing or two about them, and if they are going missing, we need to find all of them. So if you happen to find any, or know any, just let us know, maybe in our next little meeting.
He nods and he's like, well, I can tell you none of those around me are of La Sombra's clan. So
surprising. Okay, good to know.
he raises an eyebrow. Is it surprising considering what's happening in Chicago right now?
I suppose not. No.
Understand, we're looking for a peaceful parlay, a meeting of the minds, so to speak. I'd love to get the entire coteries thoughts on it, but I understand the dangers of approaching them without a label of Camarilla or Anarch.
No, you'd be surprised that my coterie is actually quite open to meeting with all kinds of people. Labels. I'm actually the most labeled person, if we're being completely honest.
I also know your coterie has a rather public history.
Yes, but no, I think that they'd be willing to meet. It's a matter of where. We have plenty of places. I'm sure you can find a way.
You have a pen, paper?
I have Sido's journal. I rip a small piece from the corner.
Yeah, so you're like, you don't even pull the book all the way out. You're just gonna get a piece of the paper.
Just a little small piece.
He doesn't even like clock it at all. He grabs the paper and he quickly jots down a phone number. It's one of the only payphones left in the city. He slides it back to you. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday between 10 and 11 p.m., phone rings. Do you want to talk to us? And he goes, you answer the phone.
Gosh, this is like a movie. So
he shrugs. Unless you have a better way of communicating without the threat of the Camarilla.
No. I understand the need for secrecy. Yes. Look, my ass is on the line too. I get it.
That's all. Somebody will be there. Or rather, he said he gives you the phone number and he says you have to call between 10 and 11 Tuesday to Thursday, and somebody will be there to answer it. That's what it was. Not you be there. You call the phone number on that hour, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and somebody will answer it.
Noted. I'll keep it in my calendar then.
Feel like a proper super spy.
Yes. Well, Jack, if that is everything.
Hasn't even been the beginning of anything, but this is a good first step. Hopefully this is the beginning of something.
Hopefully.
And when all's said and done, everybody gets to walk away with their lives attached and out of the grip of whatever the hell is torturing this city.
Yes. Actually, she's not asking any more questions about that. Yeah, so she will look over to Grant.
Yep. He's a hunch over cheering at a touchdown that just happened.
Oh, God. Okay.
He looks around to like share the excitement, but there's nobody's paying attention.
So do you get the honor to escort the two of us back?
Is that a request? Because actually, no. But I will if you want. If it's the only one you trust me, yeah, we can do that.
Or is it going to be your little Nosferatu friend who was slinking in the corner without anybody seeing?
He shakes his head. No, he's busy. No, we're just going to drop you back off at the restaurant, but bag over the head before we leave this place and when we get in the car.
Fine.
And I'm not going to regret not staking you, right?
No, I'm not going to do anything. Don't worry.
All right. Hey, and he shouts over. What was his name? Grant. And Grant quickly looks over. He just makes a nod like, let's go. And Grant gets up, swigs the rest of his beer as quickly as he can, and does like a walk jog kind of middle thing to get over to you guys. Are we good? Am I like being let go?
Yes, we're being let go.
2 thumbs up, way better than a shotgun in the stomach. And before he can even continue, Jack walks over and he hands you both just a bag to throw over your own heads. Oh, right. And he just goes, just kind of Grant without thinking, just does it.
God. Yeah. I would like them to do it for me.
Then they will. They slide it over your head. And you're guided out into the vehicle. An hour or so drive in the other direction. Very similarly. And you are let go just as you were, not exactly in the front of the restaurant, but like a block away from the restaurant. The bags are slid up and over your head. And Jack just turns like, all right, here's your stop. It was actually way more pleasant meeting you than I thought it was going to be, Ava.
I'm happy to hear that.
And Grant, it was a night. And Grant just looks over and he doesn't even really know what to say, and he just nods. Yeah, it was something like that. Ava, he doesn't step out to open the car door for you. If you look like you're waiting in any way, Grant will happily leap out of his side and run over to your side.
I will let Grant do it then.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. After he realizes you're not opening the door, Grant kind of pops out and runs over to the side of the door, and he opens it for you with as wide as he can. You step out and the door shuts. The night is late. You spent, I know it was a rather short seeming conversation, but time was spent there, lingering, just kind of hanging around people. Listening to whatever side conversations may have been happening, which none of which seemed were giving any kind of information away. It was very much like, how was your day? Oh, how's this person? A lot of catching up between a lot of them, it seemed. And some hours went by. By the time you return, it was already an hour drive there, hour drive back, plus whatever time you spent there. You could return to the bar. There is time. But if you did so, you would also learn that Dakota and Ollie are also not there for the evening.
Well, Grant, I know this wasn't exactly the ideal date night. We'll have to put a rain check on it. I'm just glad you're okay. So I am going to go rest for the day because I'm pretty exhausted. Please just, show up to the bar tomorrow so we can let Ollie know you're okay, and tell him I saved you so I can get some Ollie points. Thank you.
he just nods along. Yeah, whatever you say. I'm tired anyway. All right, have a good night, Ava. I assume they filled my position in the kitchen, so I'm not going to go back in there anyway. And he leaves off for the evening, kind of just walking down the sidewalk where he always goes when he heads to head home. And we'll say the night ends. As the next night starts, I need a rouse check from everybody. And obviously, Ollie, I need 3 additional rouse checks to heal the next point of aggravated damage.
Yeah.
So 4 total.
Okay. First one. Second. Third. Fourth.
Cool. You gain 2 hunger, so you're at what, 3?
Yes.
Cool. And Dakota, did you roll and I just missed it?
That takes an
No, it's
aggravated
just
off
being
me.
okay.
Yep,
Great. There
1
you go.
aggravated off
I'm
of you.
kind of hungry.
Yep, you're at 3 as well. So Dakota and Ollie are both at 3 hunger. Ava, you already rolled your rouse. What are you at?
Yeah, I'm just at hunger 2 now. I went up. Yeah.
Cool. So then evening rolls around, and I imagine everybody is coming back to gather at the Lights Out pub, like always. And Dakota and Ollie, you're not even sure if to expect if Emmy is going to be there or not. You kind of separated from her, did the thing, and the night was really close to being over when you were done. You weren't surprised to not see Emmy there when you returned. But as you arrive for the evening and you come into the back of the bar, everybody starts gathering. Yeah, Emmy is nowhere to be found. She did not return this evening. There is no note right now that has been left, but you know her. She could send one at any time. But surprisingly, or perhaps surprisingly, you see Grant in the kitchen prepping. You know he got taken. Ava told you, I think, right? Or no? Did you guys? You knew Ava? No, you knew Grant was taken. Or did they knew? Right?
They knew Grant was taken. We were all freaking out. That's actually why I went to Labyrinth.
Right. Yeah.
I did leave a note that I went with, a very long-winded note. They might not have even seen it, honestly. Like that I left with some guy.
Sure.
But yeah.
I mean, the fact that you left a note is what stands out. The fact that you went off with some guy probably isn't that surprising.
Also, one other thing I remember from the last episode I was in, I accidentally killed a guy. Left him in the closet. I was feeding and I rolled shitty.
You rolled your frenzy.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you roll your other thing yet? Did you take a stain from that?
I did take a stain, and I think we rolled remorse, and I was fine.
Okay.
It was
double
after,
check
after
the
the
show.
show.
Okay, cool.
But yes, there's still a dead body in there. that we have to deal with.
They would have seen that's funny because they were in the freezer at some point last week, so they would have seen the dead body in there. I imagine Dakota and Ollie would have had, done your usual cleanup, take care of it. You got the
if we
contacts.
saw it, we would.
The body is gone, Ava, when you get in there.
Okay,
They
thank
already
God.
took
All
care
right,
of it.
good. Thank God.
But Dakota and Ollie, the first ones to arrive. Ollie obviously being very, very first. And yeah, there's Grant in the back prepping for the night. As you walk in, and the customers are starting to bubble up. He's like, "Oh, hey, boss. Hey, Red." As Dakota walks in as well. I imagine you two trying to get together pretty early after last night. I hope you guys it's good to see you. I'm good. And he kind of like shows you his hands. I don't know why he showed you his hands, but he's like, I'm good.
What the fuck happened to you?
That's a long, and as he's about to say it, the back door opens and in walks Ava.
I saved him.
Yeah, that's what happened. I mean, kind of, I guess.
So it was a good first date.
Not what I was expecting. I didn't expect to arrive at the date.
You didn't expect to be the
taken
damsel
away.
of the situation.
Yes. I was Liam Neeson, and
I was taken.
And he was taken, and I found them.
Who is?
I found the people who took Grant.
Grant shrugs. I have no idea who they were. They really didn't tell me too much, but
Grant?
They had Ava.
Let's have a seat.
Oh no.
Perhaps in the booth.
No, that doesn't sound good.
You have a good time. I'll be cooking. Ooh, booth time early. That's dangerous.
A quick chat.
I look at Ollie.
Oh fucking no.
Just relax. It's fine. He's fine. We're all fine. Have a seat. It's not anything super well, just have a seat. And she gestures. She starts walking over to the booth.
He'll sit in the booth, but there's noticeable eye squinting of like, it's not that okay, it's a little dangerous, but not like it's.
Yeah. Dakota.
Did Dakota sit?
Yep, booth it. I'm boothing it.
The curtain gets drawn shut.
So while the two of you were out, you were with Emmy in the labyrinth. Dakota, I don't even remember where you were going, but you were out and about. Somebody walked into the bar, a unsuspecting individual, Kindred, who said he had Grant. So, and he said he knew about our little city problem. So I went with him to go talk and get Grant back.
How did that talk go?
It went actually quite well. This individual took me to, he staked me and threw a bag over my head and took me to a secret indiscreet location that I gather is somewhere between Austin Village and Belmont. Pretty up north. I don't usually go that far up north. And claimed he was with a group of kindred freedom fighters that know about the city, and they want to help us with the problem. It's quite simple, actually.
Oh yeah. So Dakota, did you know that the city is occupied by kindred radicals that casually steal ghouls and stake your friends through the chest? They're not dangerous though.
If we just put aside the consent issues in this story and just really focus on the main problem here. How many freedom fighters?
There was about 11 of them.
Oh, okay. 11 more people now know about our city problem. I imagine you're talking about the sandwich.
Yes, they claim that some of theirs have been going missing. And they, unfortunately, won't be giving up their source or how they learned.
What do you mean by theirs?
They said that people of theirs were going missing.
Boo-hoo, so are ours.
Yes, and they somehow, again, I don't know what their sources or how they're figuring this out, but they were able to assess that there is something going on in Chicago and they want to stop it.
What did you say, Ava?
I said, sure, you can help. You can join our cause.
Our cause?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Ollie, your turn.
I don't even know what to say. Did you hit him with your mind stuff? Did you stake him back?
Yeah, what is
Did you
it?
tell him taking people's ghouls is wrong?
Do you really think that me, little old me, could go up against 11 other kindred?
Okay, let's start with the 11 kindred. Who were they?
I gathered some of the faces. Honestly, the guy who took me, who said his name is Jack, not exactly a pretty plain looking guy, if you ask me.
So
there was an ugly
basic.
Nosferatu. No offense, Ollie. There was a Nosferatu in the corner.
Any gangrel or the
He
gangrel?
just like woke up tonight and chose violence.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know if anybody was a gangrel, but there are certain the few of them certainly may have been gangrel. They fit the profile.
I look, I do have kindred iconography. I maybe could have gotten a couple of
What
them. I didn't.
do
but
they want?
They honestly just want to help us.
I
as far
don't
as I know.
believe that.
When has anyone wanted to help us?
They actually want a conversation with the entire coterie.
Oh, really?
Yes. So you can give all your See, they did say I would be the most pleasant to talk to, and I guess that was right.
It's because they
pleasant
didn't
to talk
steal your
to.
ghoul.
Hey, Ava, remember they gave you a reason why they took you two away from the restaurant.
I am pleasant all the time. I'm likable.
For what it's worth, they gave Grant some beer and a TV to watch the game, and
So they kidnapped him to get to you?
they wanted to bring us to another location because apparently the restaurant was.
Am I gonna have to go black bag? Because I don't do that.
Okay. One, the restaurant that was compromised by Camarilla, so they didn't want to talk there. Two, yes, they took me to an indescript location because they wanted to keep it a secret. Sure, fine. I'm fine with that. Three, they gave me a pay phone to call if we ever wanted to talk to them.
Ava, let's start at the beginning again. The city is not compromised by Camarilla. It is a Camarilla
It is run by
city.
Yes, I'm aware. I am aware. Okay.
So before you drink the Kool-Aid of the freedom fighters,
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid of the freedom
I
fighters.
just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Are we not trying to get allies of all sorts of types?
Yeah,
just
but
saying.
usually when they cold call with a door knock and hear us out, as opposed to hold one of our own ransom and then stake another one of them.
I'm not looking for any allies not ready to put a stake permanently through a Lasombra's heart.
Maybe they're willing to do that.
Well,
because
great. Maybe they'll negotiate on the whole black bagging and staking through hearts.
Well, look, you two can bring your skepticisms to the table. With
Okay,
Jack.
let me throw this out. I just want to put that out there into the world. All right, just hear me out. I want to know what you would have done had they kidnapped one of your best friends and your ghoul.
Me?
No, Ava.
I know what
No,
I've done.
I would be less pleasant with them. That's for certain. Yes. But it's pretty hard to take on a group of people. They put me in a pretty hard position. So I just wanted to make sure Grant would come back okay. And he did, as far as I know.
I had an idea. I had a thought.
What's your idea?
Okay, so these freedom fighters, right? Or Sabat, or whatever you want to call them. They
Did that pop into Ava's mind at all? Sabat, I imagine. Maybe
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
We've heard, yeah.
just making sure we're all using the same language to define the situation. They are probably not only interested in the sandwich, but potentially
Consuming.
mix up of the Camarilla structure of the city. Yeah.
I'm going to be real, much like the Anarchs. I have doubts that 11 Sabat are really going to be much of a threat.
I have doubt that there's only 11. And I also question, what Anarchs do you know? Why? How does... Okay. Ava, let's get back to the point here, which is...
social.
We have to... I know, but we have to choose our allies.
Right now, I think we're all like you made friends with a lupine,
Okay.
first of all. Okay, so don't come yelling at
I'm
me
not
for making friends
I
with the Sabat.
technically have no lupine in my life. They've assured me of that, though. Somehow they keep fucking showing up. Not my fault. That is not my fault. They keep coming to me.
Okay, and Mr. Jack came to my doorstep with Grant as a hostage.
Okay.
So I didn't have
If we're
have
gonna
a
work
choice.
with these people, we've got to set some serious consent boundaries. No kidnappings, no black bags, no stakes to the heart without a total 100% consent of the situation.
They did ask me before.
They asked you before they staked you through the heart?
That part they didn't ask.
They asked you before
asked
they
to put
put
a
a
bag
bag-
over my head. Yes. And I understand the need for secrecy. Like, if I wanted to have a secret conversation with somebody, I would,
I don't do business with people that have to keep secrets, Ava.
look, if this was Ava 10 years ago, I would be in the same seat. I would be like, fuck these people. But I think we actually need any help we can get at this point.
Great. All right. I'll make you a deal, Ava, since you seem to be in, the dealing mood. You have to tell Jackson we're gonna meet with the freedom fighters.
Oh, no, Dakota.
And when
God
he
damn
says
it.
that it is A-okay for us to work with the freedom fighters for mutual end cause, then I will sign on and
You really want him to kill me, don't you? I'm already his least favorite of the group. The least favorite of the loud ones.
Ollie, I feel like that's a very fair ask. Thoughts?
No, I've never backed you more succinctly than in this particular moment.
Fine.
Okay.
You literally just sat down at a dinner table, and suggested that 11 kindred can't possibly destabilize an existing structure in Chicago when the three of us managed to fuck it up left and right for the last decade and a half.
I mean, technically, we still are.
Like it's been our job
Fine.
to fuck it up.
You're right. You shouldn't underestimate any group. Okay,
I want to know if
that's
there
exactly
are any
how they fall.
gangrel in the group. Think, Ava, think.
Can I see if my little
Intelligence
senses-
resolve would be a memory
You
check.
rolled like a 7 or some business on reading the room, right?
I did.
Yes, you read the room. It's just hard to like. There, remember, Bruja and
that's true
Gangrel,
if
for
you
instance,
can't-
can look very similar on on the outside.
It's true.
post
Like I said,
events?
you would have. I would say if there was 2 or 3 of them that looked like they could have been Gangrel based on just how they presented themselves and how they looked. I mean, I'll still say that's the same.
Okay.
There's a couple there that you could have. None that you've ever seen in an Elysium. None that you've ever seen around on the streets before. None that you've ever seen in. I mean, you never seen Gangrel or get-togethers. But as far as like the stuff you've been to, no, these are all. They all looked relatively young physically. And his implication was that they were certainly not very old anyway.
Yes, he was all about the young blood. But I don't remember, Dakota. Maybe a couple of them looked like Gangrel. Maybe.
Say I buy into this, and we go have a little secret meeting with your newfound freedom fighter friends.
Yes.
What do we have to do?
Here, I don't know. Do exactly what you're doing here. Ask them questions. Be skeptical.
No, I mean, do you have a secret hidey meaty place?
We go to a payphone.
So you call a payphone.
We call
I guess you go to a payphone to call a payphone because
we call a payphone between the hours of 10 and 11 p.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and we tell them we want to meet. And I don't know. We figure it out from there.
Very specific.
Yes. Well, I might have also just told them, like, hey, if you know any La Sombra, like, let us know.
Or just kill him on sight.
Yeah. I didn't want to go that far. But,
Why?
I was like, just because what if, like, they have friends that are La Sombra and then it's
Well,
like,
boo-hoo. Clean out the nest. Solve your own fucking problems. Don't come crying to the loud ones when you need the dirty work done. They're fucking Sabat.
Yes. Well, it didn't seem like they knew any La Sombra. So none of the ones in the room were.
If these people are actually Sabat, right? Actually Sabat, they're gonna figure out that we're the guys that killed some of their friends. Don't you remember back in that bar?
They might already know that. They seem to know quite a bit about the loud ones.
That is a concern. I also want to make sure you're aware, like, Sabat are not a unified force. They're not like every Sabat knows each other. They're fractured.
We don't know actually shit about Sabat. Like, Dakota doesn't, so...
Oh, that's true. You guys really don't know much about the internal workings of the Sabat. That's true.
We don't. We just know that the ones that we fought in that bar were Sabat or Sabat adjacent. And
do you guys have anybody you could go to talk to and
Neely.
learn about them more?
Edward Neely.
Yeah, Neely.
I don't know Neely. I'll just say I don't
No,
get...
Neely's the crazy dude. The guy who's like
Ventru.
passionately anti-Sabat.
What is the term fuck around and find out? Their dudes fucked around and found out. And that's not our problem. I have zero problem with having altercated with Sabat in the past. Too bad, so sad. If you want my help, they best be coming to the table with something fucking good.
It's true. They honestly didn't really come to the table with anything that...
See? No,
Good.
They said that, like, the only offer they made, just a reminder, is they said, like, off the top of his head, before even having a conversation with the whole coterie, like the legwork, the grunt work, the street work that you might not be able to have the resources to really pay attention to now. That was the only thing he really brought forward. But yeah, maybe in a conversation with the coterie, you could figure out more.
Yeah. Yes, I would relay. Yes, he did say the one, nice thing is, they work outside of Camarilla and Anarch networks. So if there are things we need outside of that network, the grunt work, the that kind of thing, they might be able to help. I can't think of anything right now, but it may be useful.
I can figure out exactly what Jackson's going to say. It's not going to take much. We don't have to meet him to know what he's going to say. If he's already pivoting for the position of, contracted lord of this fucking city, their whole goal, right, is to sort of destabilize, fracture, and break it down. He's not going to want to pick up that many extra pieces. This is going to be bad for him.
Fair enough. We could then just say, no, sorry, we're not interested, and move on.
No, I want to know if there are any gangrel in the group.
See? We all have an agenda here.
No,
Dakota
really
wants more
only
gangrel.
they have an agenda because they're the one that kidnapped Grant and you in a single night. They have the agenda. I didn't even... Ava,
my agenda is, can I have it known I saved Grant?
Oh, there is no doubt. T-shirt is being made.
You got it.
Good. Do I get Ollie points?
You certainly, pat on the back, kid. You did it. You saved him, and I'm appreciative. But man, they just really fucking ramp their way up in a problem in my book. And as soon as I feel better, I'm going to turn them into gloves.
I see no qualms with that, honestly. But I will say they didn't hurt me or Grant. So that's the one good thing, is that we made out of it unscathed. So...
Yeah, because how are you supposed to come back and beg us to meet with them? See, my problem here, Ava, is a bit of there's an imbalance, right? You said these fuckers have been following us, and they've learned all there is to know about the loud ones.
That is a little concerning, yes.
As concerning as it may be, they weren't even on my radar until tonight.
Same.
Which means they weren't worth following, in my book.
True.
So, we have all the power here in this situation, technically, because they, for whatever reason, need to know about us. They need what we got. I don't need them as grunts. I got a bunch of gangrel sitting in a train yard dying for a run.
This is true.
You know who'd really like the information on this? Just throwing it out there. Could buy me a little more time, some brownie points with her, because I really don't want her fucking walking up in here and knifing my people, my regulars, or you guys.
I see where you're getting at here.
Layla.
Yes.
She's pest control.
All right. I'll make you a deal, Ava. I will bypass the conversation with Jackson against my better judgment. As long as we all agree when we have gotten what we need from them, they are the rest of the bait for Layla. We give them up, all of them. Except for the gangrel that joined the pack, of course.
Hey, if they're quick to flip sides and it's not just a winning thing that they're actually moving with the gangrel pride, I'm about it. But if they're all tipsy-turvy and they're just trying to move to whatever side's just casually winning, that doesn't exactly strike a home team player, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They get a choice. Join the group, leave Chicago. It's not
That's
about
safe.
politics at that point. It's about the clan.
I'm fine with this.
Yeah, Layla would like that, especially if she figures out that they're the kind of people, based off what I've been told, that will just casually grab folks off the street and mass turn them. This seems like this is right up her fucking alley.
All right, Ava, find a payphone, make a phone call.
Well, it has to be a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, so we might have to wait a couple of nights.
Oh, well then pencil it in so we don't miss it because I don't even own a real watch.
I'm gonna need some time anyway. I kind of had a rough go at things in the basement, the labyrinth. So I'm working on that.
Ollie took his grandma for a walk in the basement.
Yeah, how did that go? Where is she anyway? Yeah.
I don't know. She stayed here after we left last night.
Oh, great. She's just running loose in Chicago.
I mean, she's older than all of us combined. I don't really think she's gonna ask for permission.
yeah.
And it's a significantly less weird around here.
Yeah, I don't mind having her around, but there is a certain creepy factor when there's a little kid. Like we just got to
Having
put
a
a fucking
child in
bell
the
on her
bar.
neck or something,
Yes.
you know. So when we see her run up, we know that she's there.
I was thinking we could also put a bell on Grant so that every time he gets kidnapped or hurt or something bad happens to him, we can get alerted. Because he seems to be a prime target, you know? Rose.
I sneak one of those like dog trackers in his ass or something, like pop it right in the cheek.
Okay. All right.
Or, yes, or we talk about the whole event. Like, you know what? Do I dare bring up
nope,
the
don't do it.
conversation
Don't do it. Don't do
Ollie,
it.
the clock's a ticking. That's all I'm saying.
Don't do
We
it,
don't even
Ava.
have permission. You know what happens, right? Yeah, we've seen what happens. We've seen it. It's happened to other kindred before. It's already. If we don't get permission, not only would he get killed, but we risk our own necks. We don't have permission.
Maybe
And
we get-
God love the guy, but I'm not ready to get iced just because he wants to go fang out a couple of nights.
Okay. Then maybe we get permission.
Okay, I'm not going to be a part of that. I'll sit and have tea with Spot any day. I refuse to be a part of turning Grant. I just don't. I feel icky about it. I feel icky.
That's fine. I'm not like hard set on this either, but clearly bad things keep happening to him. He nearly died once. He got kidnapped again. How many more times are we gonna have to save his ass?
I'll ask.
A lot.
It's not gonna hurt my feelings.
A lot. You're gonna have to save him a lot. He's a ghoul. That's like half the responsibility of having a pet, right?
If they say no, then they say no, and he's got to wait longer. Right? It's no skin off my back. I'll go fucking ask.
Yeah, you ask.
Yeah, sure. I'll ask.
Actually, Ava, we've desperately been meaning to set a little date with the prince. Why don't you go see old Bella herself and woo her into giving you the dagger and, a spot in line for Grant to get turned?
Yes. The one task Jackson's given me that I am actually dreading doing.
Oh,
Yes.
come on. It'll be fun. Steal something from her. It'll be great. It's like shoplifting.
I've never shoplifted.
Oh my
Do I look like
God.
somebody who shoplifts?
I mean, what if I went in, right? Like I said, everybody loves gifts, and the thing that we talked about with, I walk in with a gift.
Yeah, how do you feel about gifting me in bird form?
I think that I wouldn't trust anyone else in that office room, whatever the fuck her sex bunker. I don't care.
It's really pretty boring, actually.
All right, she's
Gifting?
vanilla. That's great, but I don't have a problem with you in there of all kindred.
Have you heard of the Trojan horse analogy? Walking up to her door with a bird as a gift seems a little suspicious to me.
I didn't even
I'm coming
know
with
you
a tall
knew
order,
Trojan horse as
right?
a reference. I'm impressed, Ava.
It's a tall ask. Yeah, it's not exactly like I can just cold call Bella and be like, hey Toots, can I get a free pass on making a kindred?
So you bring her a bird, a
She's gonna want me to
bird.
We
bootlick
just need to
some
get it.
kind,
Okay,
right?
all right. You know what? You simmer on that. How would you steal it from her, Ava?
I would seduce her. And while after, sleeping with her, I would take a moment to steal her belongings.
Well, let's pretend like she's not a human for a minute because she's not gonna wear out. You gonna stake her? Wouldn't recommend it.
No.
You'd have to wake while she's sleeping.
I would try to get her to leave the room.
Nobody lets her leave the room. She's being held hostage.
You could wake while she's sleeping. There is mechanics to do so. However, the issue would be getting out because it's daytime now. Where the hell else are you going to go other than the sun-blocked rooms?
So I got an idea. Even Bella needs laundry done. There's got to be a garbage chute. Something we can drop it down. Come on, Ava. And then you could go crawl back in bed post-coitus.
Maybe that's something you should be doing, Dakota.
I think
after
not.
your guys' history. Sorry, was that?
That we both know I have more stamina than she does.
Especially in bird form.
I think you're the perfect woman for the job, Ava. And Jackson did give it to you specifically. And last night I dropped by Cretius's and he wasn't there, so I'm gonna go knock again tonight.
That's great. You go to Cretius, I'll go to the Ivory Tower. I'll go ask. I'm not gonna go sleep with her. She's not exactly my type.
I'll
Two
go
of
with
you
him.
ask. Yeah,
I mean, you're her
ask
type.
me.
She's got like this whole thing, snitch and all. Worth a
I-
shot.
no,
Joe,
I-
three for three for the prince. Just all the loud ones.
And yeah,
Fall in love with
She
all
ain't
the loud
bagging
ones.
me. If that's
Right.
her shtick, she's nah.
Fine, go on. Ava, I will show up with a smile on my face to Sabat if you bring that dagger back tonight.
tonight. I'll see what I can do.
We don't even know. She may not even keep it there.
She does,
Right.
in a box.
She does.
Ava knows exactly where.
I do know where it is.
It's in her main room. Bundle it, wrap it, put something heavy in the box, throw it in the garbage chute. I'll just swing by. I'm really good at digging through the garbage.
Just want to throw it out there, okay?
Oops, bird swoops down, takes that piece of garbage.
I'm not exactly a master thief. My larceny is really just petty crimes. Okay, I'm really good at picking up radios out of cars, right? But if
Ava.
this thing goes missing while we're there, she's not stupid.
What's the likelihood that you could woo Bella into just giving it to you? She's not technically part of the sandwich anymore, and the sandwich has fucked up her entire life.
Oh yeah, you just convinced 11 homies out there in the Sabat to just release Grant. Like the prince, what's that? It's walk in the park, right?
Something that would probably come to your minds as well. You don't know if the box itself is warded. You've dealt with Tremere enough to have that thought. I feel like pop.
Dakota messed with
Because
it
you
and it
saw the
wasn't
d- the
warded. Dakota, remember, tried to pick the lock and it wasn't. Now, it might be now, but it wasn't then.
Or the ward triggers when it's opened.
God, I don't.
Or maybe the ward isn't even like one of those things where it's like surprise but it's just alerts
Yeah,
whoever
it'd just be
has
something
warded
silent.
it. Yeah.
And you do have Saito's book. Who knows? There might be some answers into how to deal with warding in there.
Dakota, I think we need some more time to plan this out. I don't think I can do a freaking Ocean's 11 tonight. Okay. I've got to figure some stuff. I got some shadow things maybe that can help.
You seem to be in the dealing mood tonight. I thought maybe it would just light a fire under you.
God damn it! No.
Oh no, I just had a thought.
No.
It's borderline a Dakota thought. You're not gonna like it, but you're also
No,
gonna see
tell me.
where I'm going with
What
it.
are we blowing up?
Sorry, that weird, bizarre, silent catty ovary just popped in. What if we get Snitch to do it?
You think he'd work against Bella?
I think she would go ass over kettle if Snitch showed up at her door.
And
I don't think
and wouldn't notice.
I don't think he would, because wasn't their love a secret? So
Not from us. We found out. And Snitch knows that we know.
getting
Bella
snitched.
Bella told, right? Did she told you, Dakota, right?
So
Or did-
it was a vision that
yeah,
Ava had. Ava had the vision of the past while she was there. She saw
Yes.
the whole.
Dakota
the
did
whole-
have a long conversation with her though about it. Remember,
okay.
Dakota
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to visit. I would say that she would definitely consider it a lot more coming out of Snitch's mouth.
In a worst case scenario, Snitch can go hidden just like Rudy. Except he's not bleeding between shadows, right? He does what I do, but way better. From my understanding, he said he basically can move anywhere and not be seen. Maybe it's one of those things where he doesn't have to worry about cameras.
All right.
Right.
Okay. I have an idea. This is good. Okay. You said Ocean 11 style plan. We need a reason to be able to get in there without Bella or anybody else being in there, being focused on something else, right?
Yes.
What if we cause a problem, an issue, say, driven by the spot, that requires the sheriff, who we happen to know and like very much, to show up and need to move her to safety? Leaving the door behind open, snatch and grab, and we're out.
I mean, we've tried not quite similar things, but you know, like Jackson and both the sheriff, they want proof. They haven't budged on anything without proof.
Well, Damien will budge for us,
You think?
for Jackson. We tell Jackson, let him know what we need. Damien shows up to just do his job.
Okay, then I want to be on the same page here. Ava, are you actually ponying up with the Sabat creeps?
I have no intentions to, like, one way or the other. I thought maybe they could be a good ally for us in our current major problem.
I don't mind. I don't want him as an ally, but I'd be way okay with him being a brief firework.
Sure.
And,
yes.
and then I want the gang rule.
Yes. Fine. So you're saying we ask the Sabat if they can cause a stir so that we can get
One big enough and bad enough that it would necessitate the moving of the prince from her chamber.
Yes, and then we snatch and grab. Okay.
Or we can beg Snitch to show up with his undying love, and he can steal it post-quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even at that point, if we move her out, Snitch still might have the opportunity to get in and
Precisely.
lift it.
Maybe scope the building.
All right. You know what? We were trying to find
Hey, and then we blame the missing dagger on the Sabat.
Yes. Look, and they said they could do more of the grunt work. This sounds like grunt work to me.
All right, fine.
And it helps the greater cause that they're also trying to help.
I'm still gonna
So-
go talk to Crucius.
Still gonna go talk to Bella.
Who wants to talk to Snitch?
I can cycle back through on my way out.
Check
I
the
know how to
box
get there
while
fast.
you're in her chambers, Ollie. Make sure it's still there. You know, the wooden one. Remember?
I mean, I'll see if it's there.
Just spot it. You need to spot it.
What is it? Give me like a size shoebox.
Didn't Ollie see it? Because she opened the dagger out of it in the final first season.
She
Oh,
did
that was
that.
the shadow.
Yeah, that released the shadow. I don't think Ollie
It
was
was
in
the
same
room
box?
for
The
that.
dagger went into that box, is what you told
Oh,
me.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it the
no,
same
yeah,
box?
that box.
I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
I saw that box though.
It was just a plain wooden box. Nothing special about the box at all. It was
Yeah,
just
like
a
a
plain
drawer, like
shoe-sized
a
wooden box.
Wooden box.
Okay. It's probably like in a Toreador's office. It's probably going to stand out.
Yeah. Ava saw where she put it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Are you going with him?
I will go with him.
You don't have
yes.
to. I'm curious if you are now that the plan is not to speak to Bella and try to get the thing out tonight.
Tonight's just to ask for permission for Grant. Scope the
I
sitch.
I'll still go with Ollie. Just because I am still supposed to make good with Bella, so I will at least show my face there and keep on. Maybe I can ask her for another time for us to meet up. So yeah, I'll go with.
So we're splitting Ollie and Ava off to the Ivory Tower, and Dakota off to the college campus to go meet with Gracious. We will actually focus first on Dakota as she makes her way over to the college. You skateboard there, I assume, most of the time.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
Kicking your skateboard the way there. And as you approach through the campus itself, still beautiful as it is huge and sometimes a maze to navigate if you're not a regular student there, you know where you're going at this point. But you don't even get to the building itself before you actually see Cretius walking down the sidewalk, having a conversation. And as you get a little closer to see the silhouettes a little bit better, you can just tell by the posture and the pace of the walk that he's next to and speaking to Kevin Jackson.
Fucking perfect. I will. This is Dakota. This is probably a bad idea, but fuck it, it's Dakota. I'm gonna stalk them for a while. I want to see
stealth?
if they know me if I'm there.
Dex stealth check.
Yeah. Okay.
I have my Chicago book right here. I'm curious what theirs.
I got it 3 successes.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I didn't expect Jackson to be here.
Your stats, homie. There they are.
Just to answer chat's questions, we could not wipe the hunters because they showed up to do the job we sent them for. If we wiped them out, they wouldn't have hit Rose's club.
Yeah. Why is that?
Chat's questioning why we never made the hit on the hunters, and it's because they made a move on Rose's club first.
Yes. Yeah. There it is. Okay.
To be fair, I still took some of them out.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
Not a huge pool. One, two, three,
Damn.
4. Okay, 5.
5.
6.
Damn.
You follow them for a while. Can you make me a wits awareness real quick?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm actually trying to listen to their conversations as much. This is a game.
No, you're not. I didn't think you were trying to listen as much as just follow them and kind of just see where they go.
A 4 messy critical.
Messy critical. You actually end up stepping out when you realize for a moment it's not that they hesitate walking, but you watch Jackson the whole time looking straight ahead as he converses with Cretius. You begin following him, and about 5 minutes in or so, for the slightest subtle turn, he seems to turn his head back. And Dakota clocks it, probably doesn't want to push it any further just in case. And with that messy critical, you quickly step out almost on cue as though he heard you the moment you step out.
Yep.
And you're welcome to say something and be the first one to say something. But
does he actually make eye contact, or does it look like I need to give them their space?
No, as you step out fully, he ceases walking. Cretius clearly was mid-sentence, not paying attention, and it takes him another step and a half before he realizes Jackson has stopped as well, catching his own wording. And
we're still in public, and I know the ruse here, so I'll probably just I'll play the part and like step up and just say, I was looking for a moment with the professor, but I see he's busy. I'll come back during his office hours.
Jackson just holds his hand up. Actually, we were just walking over to his office. You're welcome to join us, and you can have words with him there afterward.
I follow.
And they walk. Conversation continues, almost as though they are continuing right where they left off, but the topic is uselessness. It's grades, it's the schedule for the year, it's how much time is left before we have to worry about graduation and what we need to get ready for that. Stuff that's just all school-based. You're not entirely sure if that's what they're talking about before you showed up, but that is now what they're speaking about while they're there now. Okay. It doesn't take long, maybe 10 or 15 minutes of a walk before you get into the offices that are all closed down. You can see all of the offices in this one kind of big room with their glass windows, and all of the lights are off, with the exception of one, which is where you walk onto the freshly cleaned carpeted floor, little like shoulder high plastic dividers between cubicles and offices that line the walls. You make your way over to Cretius's office, clearly. He opens the door and Jackson steps in and ushers you to head in as well. And as you do so, he steps in, closing the door behind him, and walks over to a seat where he plops down with a relative kind of dejectedness, I guess is a good word for it. He just kind of settles in as the creaks under his moving, giving away how long this chair has probably been here at this point. And he looks over to you, and Jackson slowly turns, places his hands behind his back, and looks to you as well, expectantly.
I came to have a chat about one thing, but since Jackson's here, I think I'm going to have a chat about another.
Jackson just looks to you and raises an eyebrow. Why not both?
Time permitted. Let's talk about the more interesting one. The one where one of our coterie was approached tonight by a group of freedom fighters. Talking about information that only a select few of us here in the city hold.
Cretius leans in and he places his elbows on the wooden desk, the chair creaking with every inch that he moves. And he gestures kind of nonchalantly with his right hand. When you say freedom fighters, you mean?
Outside the interest of general kindred politics. What is the quaint word you'd Sabbat?
He nods. Cretius nods and then kind of leans back again. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that's what you were talking about. Jackson doesn't give away any sort of facial kind of recognition, doesn't look mad or upset. He seems stoic as always and keeps the silence, continuing to stare at you just down through his nose, waiting to see if there's more to it than that.
They're interested in an alliance. They say they have a common enemy. Similar interests, whatever.
Precious gives he stifles a chuckle as you say that.
As much as all three of us know that's bullshit.
Jackson speaks again. Are you here looking for permission?
No. I'm here looking for your help. Tonight we were sitting down trying to figure out how exactly we were going to get that nice little object being held in a box in the ivory tower. And I couldn't quite suss it out. Because we need a big distraction. One where we can use the Sabbat as bodies.
You can see the gears turning, though he never breaks eye contact with you.
One in which Bella would not be at the ivory tower.
Precious immediately leans in. That's one of the most stupid ideas I've probably heard the past 10 years. Working with the Sabbat is akin to signing your own death fucking warrant.
I didn't say work with them.
Using them as a tool. That's like asking the Second Inquisition to come in and do your dirty work for you.
Then what would you have me do? Slaughter all 10 of them because they know our biggest, dirtiest secret?
He just does this, and he leans back. He's like, seems you've got the answer.
I looked at Jackson.
Looks stoic. Almost just seems to be his eyes going back and forth between who's speaking, kind of taking it in, but neither piping up or inserting any sort of opinion.
As much as I absolutely agree with you, and on any other given night, I would probably have already started the effort.
You just see Cretius shake his head, having made his point with what he said prior, before Jackson finally does kind of pipe in. He doesn't step forward, but unclasps his hands from behind him and brings them closer to his front. I wouldn't immediately ask to put you in danger and have you slaughter them, unlike Cretius. And he looks over to Cretius before looking back to you. But I would forbid working with them. You cannot trust the Sabbat freedom fighters, or whatever they call themselves, to drape themselves in the cloak of ally friendship. They will turn on you, especially if the plan goes south. And he just kind of like lets that sentence be incomplete and linger.
So, say we don't work with them. Situation is still the same. We need a distraction. I'm thinking an Elysium.
Bella hasn't called for an Elysium in some time.
All the more reason for two very influential people to convince her it is time for one.
It would provide an opportunity.
All we need is to be able to get in and get out.
It seems you have a plan.
As long as we can get an Elysium called.
He looks to Cretius, and Cretius just looks like he's shaking his head in old man upset style, just not really liking what he's hearing. If you can get it done, you can get it done, but don't expect us to go try to put in a word with the prince right now.
Why is that?
He just looks around, almost surprised you asked. We're not exactly working for the same team.
No, but I would have imagined with your great politicking, you could have taken a chance to get on our good side.
I despise the politicking. I keep to myself as best I can and offer guidance when needed.
Well, that perfectly rounds into the second reason why I'm here. This was meant to be a private conversation, so I guess I'll just get to the point. What is it that you are doing?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Jackson and everyone that works for him, our coterie included, has worked with one another, mutually, beneficially. I've showed up to your classes for months. Passed all your tests, I've read all your books, I've talked all of your philosophy. But I still don't know what part you play.
You speaking to Cretius directly?
Yes.
Cretius just looks rather nonchalant and relaxed. And what makes you think I have any desire to inform you what it is I do?
I don't. That's why I showed up to ask.
What's necessary? I provide my experience and my age to help balance the scales.
Then can I ask you another question, based on your age and experience?
I don't think my answer is going to stop you. Go ahead.
Hey, it's not about stopping me. I want your perspective. Why are the gangrel scattered?
Have your own kind not told you?
I'm not asking my own kind. I'm asking an outside perspective of somebody older and more knowledgeable.
Because one of those gangrel of older age threw a tantrum, selfish, hissy fit, made a big scene, and got himself kicked out of the Camarilla. And with that, him being the representative for your clan, so too went the rest of the clan. And not to put it any more politely than it needs to be, let's not pretend the Camarilla didn't jump at the chance to kick the gangrel out.
Now, see, that's what I'm most interested in.
He just gestures, politics be politics, and another reason I try to fucking avoid him.
Politics or gangrel?
Politics.
So what is it that they have against us other than the grand temper tantrum of our leader?
You should read some books.
If only I had access.
All you have to do is come ask.
You don't make asking very easy.
It's not about coddling you and bringing you into the undead world with warm, loving hands. It's about preparing you for the realities of it, and then whether you live or die is up to your own choices.
I have been met with the cold, dead hands of reality since I was still human.
He
you
just
don't
kind
have
of
to preach that to me.
He shakes his head.
Nonetheless,
book.
I respect your boundaries.
He slides open a bottom left-hand drawer with a loud kind of thud as it hits the edge of the rails. He rifles through clearly what sounds like some papers before he pulls out a leather-bound, titleless book. It's small, maybe a couple hundred pages. It's a good start, and tosses it onto the desk. But like anything else, history is written by the victors. Whatever you read in here, there's probably some truth to it. But like much of our own history, surrounded by the fluff and lies of those who wrote it. You have to look for the truth beyond the myth and the stories that they write down. Kindred history in particular is difficult, frustratingly so.
Dakota may or may not agree with that, but that's fine. She'll keep to herself. She says thank you. She puts it in her backpack because school kid. Why not? She has a backpack. And then she turns to Jackson. And she says, okay, what do we do about the Sabbat? Do we feed him false information? Do we set him up? Do we leave him alone?
Feel playing with them right now is dangerous. If what you're saying is true, at least to a degree, and they're allied, if only temporarily, by a unique and common vision, cut ties. Let them cause chaos on their own, and should an opportunity arise before my rise, remove them from the playing board.
Not even if it means they take out some of the La Sombra?
Miss Reina, the Sabbat cannot be trusted in general. Even if they accomplish a task at which you've given them, it only sets fire to another fire we have to contain. If you feed them, our own people, can you prevent them from diablerizing them?
Could I try? Yes. Should we know, which I understand.
Good. Is there anything else?
I can't imagine so.
It was a pleasure running into you this evening.
You too.
Precious leans back in his rickety old chair. Enjoy the read. It's worth it even if it's hard to figure out what's true or not.
It's not so hard to look through the falsities of history.
He smiles when you say that.
I mean,
But
you're supposed to be dead.
so are you.
Until next time, Professor.
And they silently watch you exit. The door shuts behind you. We see Dakota as we cut to the front of the university. We see her jumping onto her skateboard.
What is the likelihood I can skate like a motherfucker to meet the two of them out front of the building? Are they going on foot? Are y'all taking a car? What is the likelihood?
If they took a car, no. If they on foot, there's a chance.
Holly doesn't really want to walk it. Like he's
It's
still
a far
pretty beat
fucking
up.
walk.
It's-
You're
yeah.
a long walk. Because even for you, did you skateboarded to the college, so that took a little while as well. So
Yeah, I'm a little
probably
faster, but not as fast as a car. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind
you
then.
probably get there
Yep.
maybe when they're on
I
their
was
way
gonna-
out. You can meet them on the way out.
I was gonna have
but-
Ava ask for that Elysium since the
No,
two
yeah,
of
yeah.
them aren't gonna do it, but it's cool. It just is what it is.
Yep.
Yep.
This was a good point then. As we see you skate away, we can fade to dark and take our break.
Perfect.
So we'll be back in about 10 or so minutes, guys. Grab your drink, refill, get comfy, and
Yep.
we will return.
We'll be back soon, everybody. Hi, everybody. Math has to do dog things at the worst time, so we're going to talk to you instead.
Yeah.
Welcome to SOS, where everything's A-okay.
Nothing can ever go wrong.
Nothing goes wrong
Especially
here.
Since we just saw probably the first or second oldest kindred in the city. Casually
You think
speaking.
Jack is old? Is that old?
Jack? No, I'm Cretius.
Oh, yeah, he's scary.
Yeah. He's got MacGuffin magic. And then we're
I
going to
want to
go.
know what the hell he's all about, though. Dakota's like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, when I have to. I'm like, are you Batman? Like, give me a real fucking answer. I wasn't
Telling you,
talking about you at all, Mathis or
It's
Chris.
just a matter of time. As soon as his little boy toy pool goes belly up, Cretius is going to be
See,
in
I haven't
action.
played that card yet because I don't really want to make him mad.
Oh, no.
You
No.
really want another Methuselah? Like,
No, what
angry?
I want is that Methuselah to do something about the other Methuselah.
He might be.
That's the
I'm
thing.
muted.
Kindred are perpetually mad at us because we're kindred. That's really
I mean,
it.
also true.
I just really need him to like come to the table with something, not his.
And
Like,
you also know Portia's walking around, dude. You know she's
but
still around.
we don't know
We don't
she's
know
a
that.
Methuselah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
We
That's
think
true, that's
she's
true.
Brad's new like thing, but we don't know she's old.
Yeah. Forgot
Now,
your
when I
characters
figured
don't
that
know
out, that's a whole separate story.
a whole separate issue.
A whole
Season
separate issue.
4.
Dealing with
We're
Portia.
that's the thing is we're kind of like our own version of the Sabbat, where
Yeah.
we completely destroy out all the old blood, not because we want to bring back Dad, but because we're just like, fuck off, all of you, seriously.
Well, welcome back from break, everybody. We are gonna just jump right into it. If you missed this, if you missed the first half of it, the usual spiel. If you want to watch it right now, drop a sub. You can get to the access to the VOD right this minute. You can go rewind it and start from the beginning. Or you can go to patreon.com/podbynight and directly support us over there. You get after shows, video and audio form, access to, our canon in universe community RP, and a bunch of other cool shit as well. And if you just want to catch up on the series as a whole, or you can't afford to support us monetarily, don't worry. Over at youtube.com/roll for it. It'll be every episode goes up there. All the seasons are up there, and you can go watch everything over there. All right, cool. So we actually are just going to kind of jump back into it. Yeah, that's everything. So we're going to pick up as the doors to the ivory tower open. As they swing open, the loud sounds of the cars roaring by, the honking horns, the chatter of civilians on the street, all goes mum as the doors close behind you. And you walk up to see, as always, a very familiar face behind the desk who looks up and sees Ollie and Ava and smiles and said, "Good evening, Mr. Hopkins." And she looks over to Ava and smiles and simply nods.
Hello,
How can I help you
Katie.
tonight?
Ava.
Hi, Katie. Ollie and I have a bit of an urgent thing we have to talk to the prince about.
She shakes her head, playfully giggles, and says, "I can't think of a time you've come in here and it hasn't been an emergency."
It's true. You're so right. I know that I had something scheduled in to happen at some point. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I was wondering if it could maybe get bumped up in the list for this evening, perhaps.
She looks over to Ollie. Is this something you're looking for as well, Mr. Hopkins? Is that why you're here?
Katie, I just have a simple ask, and I'd really love a moment of her time. I get it, she's probably a really busy woman. I'm happy to sit on the sideline, though, if you would do me this courtesy.
She just purses her lips and shakes her head no before doesn't say anything, and simply reaches for the phone that she always reaches for, presses some buttons that you're familiar of her pressing by now, and has a brief conversation under her breath as best she can before the phone hangs up. And she goes, "You know the drill. Top floor, doors will be open."
Katie, you're such a sweetheart. We should go out to dinner sometime. You're just too sweet to me. You always take care of me when we're here.
She again kind of giggles and then kind of raises her hand. "You flatter me," but as she raises her hand, you see a wedding ring around her finger.
Hey, if there's one thing I learned, well, when you're single, I gotta fight the world. When you got one guy, I only gotta fight one guy. You know what I'm saying, Katie?
She again, you can see her blush a little bit, and she goes, "Well, I'm glad you noticed." And then she looks over to Ava and grills her for a few beats.
Ava doesn't say anything. She lets Ollie do all of the flattery for the evening.
The two of you step by and stand onto one of the two large, overly beautiful elevators. And from the bottom floor to the top, you take the ride. I have a couple of minutes, but if there's nothing you want to say, we can just cut to.
Why has she got a problem with you?
Because she hates me because I'm beautiful.
Oh. Can I is this an obvious thing, or can I read a bit further into this as possible?
Are you actively trying to lie?
Yeah,
Or is it clear you're being sarcastic, Ava?
I'm being sarcastic. I do think it might be slightly a jealousy thing, but there was one time that I came down to the front desk and I forgot her name, and she holds it against me ever since.
All right, I mean that's fair, right? What do we know about the kindred world, right? It doesn't take anything to hold a fucking grudge.
Yes, well, this one is apparently a cardinal sin in the way that Katie treats me.
Referred to you by your name every time she saw you for 2 years, maybe more. You never remembered her name.
She's a secretary. It's her job to know people's names. Okay. And
I'm just saying. Just a reminder to the context behind what you're saying.
And I am, it's fine. This elevator might be bugged, so I am not going to say
I'm just
anymore.
going to throw it out there. If you want to make amends and maybe extend an olive branch, I don't know, maybe send him out to dinner, get him a gift card or something, or it's not going to take much. You make her really happy. She's very happily married. That or she's completely repulsed by me, and that makes sense.
It just feels fake, like I buy her a box of chocolates or something. It just.
You would think that, but you saw how she greeted me. It's simply because I called her Katie and I gave her a box of chocolates.
I call her Katie every time now.
Well, not that one time.
Even just the one time.
Yeah, well.
Smallest gestures go a long way. That's all I'm getting at.
I'll think about it.
Ding, the elevator rises to the top. And as the doors roll open, the large double doors that last time we were here, Ava, were being worked on, are actually already open. You don't actually see the front of it at the moment as the doors are wide open. And unlike the past couple of times you visited, she is not occupied with company at this moment. No sheriff in sight, no faceless people that, may be doing her bidding, and just the general faceless security that stands on the outside of the room. You walk through, obviously acknowledged by the security as you always do. And as you pass through the double wooden doors into the extravagantly large room with the fireplace off on the right-hand side and the large glass windows looking over Chicago itself, the doors behind you close. There stands Bella. Unlike last time, not gazing over the city, but in the middle of pouring herself, assumingly herself, a glass of wine. She sits in a, as usual, skin-tight, long black dress that runs all the way down to her ankles. And as you walk in, she takes note but doesn't cease her pouring. And as the doors close, almost in sync, she finishes the pour of her drink before placing the bottle down. As she steps around from the back of the desk and her heels clacking on tile, echoing in this rather empty room, she looks to Ava and then over to Ollie and makes a gesture with her hand to the wine. Ollie raises his hand. Ava?
I'll gladly take some.
You're going to blush of life?
Yes, I will blush of life.
Rouse check, please.
Well, he's going to avoid blushing.
Yeah, fair.
In general.
Okay, you do not get any hungrier. And as she spins around, almost like she had the glass on her, she simply begins to pour the wine into an empty glass that you certainly didn't think was there before. And as the wine meets equal levels of her own, she places the bottle down and strides down the small little gap between you and her. And as she hands you the wine, and Ava reaches forward and delicately grabs it with her long fingernails clicking across the glass itself, she raises it, not to clink to yours, but just kind of in a casual, it's good to see you way, takes a sip, and then allows herself to truly enjoy it before finally breaking through that and laying her eyes to you with attention. A surprise visit from the both of you.
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins, I can't even remember the last time it is you and I have shared the same room.
It was in Elysium, actually. And you sneered at me.
Well, Ava brings you before me.
Yes.
There must be a reason.
Well, Ava, if you'd like to start, or you want me to lead here? Your call.
I did want to spend some time with you, Bella, and I know you're quite busy as of late. Sorry, my prince. I don't call her Bella. My prince. I have wanted to spend some time with you, but this evening, my coterie and I discussed some things. So I wanted to bring Ollie along to bring a proposal to you. I gestured to Ollie.
No, yeah, she allows the silence to hang. And as she reaches up, just before she takes a sip of her glass, peering her eyes over it, she simply says, "Continue." And she begins to sip another drink.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, I've been rather devout and earnest in my loyalty to not only the princedom and the Camarilla, but to the tenets that I absolve with the Masquerade. I adhere to the very things that I need to do in order to remain in good faith. I continue to do so, and my tutelage only continues to grow under the dictation and constant lead of my primogen. And inevitably, they said that this would come. I just didn't know it would come this soon. I would like to ask for permission to sire.
That was succinct, rather to the point. Did you practice that in front of a mirror first?
No. I'm sorry to let you down.
So you wish to sire under certain risk of producing a thin blood.
My intentions were to not sire a thin blood.
And how would you avoid that risk?
I have many contingency plans, but I have allies that lie in the city and many favors and boons owed to me. I would, of course, take this individual under my wing after he was inevitably sired by someone a bit older.
Ah, so that's the puzzle piece. You don't wish to sire somebody, you wish to have somebody else sire in your stead. Do you already know who?
I have some ideas, but nothing that I've come to a concrete point on.
She simply smirks a little bit behind her glass as she swirls the wine within it. She does break eye contact with you to watch the wine for a moment. On the names of the individual clan.
Well, ideally, I would find myself in a situation seeking out constant Nosferatu assistance. There are a few that come to mind, but I don't want to lean on their names currently as I've not spoke this to them yet.
Then until you have, temporarily denied.
Perhaps we run the options by Prince Bella, and then if she approves, then we could ask them. We start here.
I'm all ears. And who is the individual you are looking to sire?
It's my ghoul.
Grant.
Yes.
And you believe he's value to not only the Camarilla, but kindred unlife in general.
I believe that he has directly been a target of kindred attack, and I have fixed these issues as they have rose up directly in my own domain and in my bar. They have been reported, they have been handled, and any breach of the Masquerade has been carefully taken care of.
She sips her drink again. But bringing him into the life of a kindred, embracing him, would simply bring his target to our kind. Why not remove the asset and remove the problem? Ghouls are easy enough to attain.
You're not wrong. And my prince, it has crossed my mind. I don't like many loose ends. I do not like issues coming to my door. But the one thing that I have discovered, particularly with Grant, when he is found in the opposition of a kindred, he somehow manages to survive with his little capability. I do think that he would be a boon and asset to the force of kindred in general. And he understands the Masquerade and the Camarilla as a whole at this point. He's been operating with me for the last many years. And he mans my business.
She watches and doesn't break eye contact with you. She truly seems to be listening to the plight or permission you're asking for laid before her. And she, with that, and taking another sip, simply says, well, then who are the potentials?
Some of the potentials, what immediately leaped to mind. I had a boon with Lasombra in the city, though I'm unsure where she currently resides. That is a boon that I would call in if she could be located. My primogen would also seek a willful ally to the Nosferatu as well, and Snitch could assist me in these things. He and I consort frequently. Additionally, I've been operating under the city, dispatching consistent threats to the Camarilla. As you can see, and he kind of rolls up his sleeves, my body speaks to the proof of this, as I have been deliberately going out of my way to wipe out whites under Chicago.
So your potential is a nameless La Sombra?
Or someone under the direct guise of snitch. Unless, of course, you would seek no additional Nosferatu assistance and sources in the city. Admittedly, I'm interested in suggestions if you happen to have any. You didn't rise to your position as a prince without kicking and scraping your way to the top. You're bright, you're brilliant, and you're a survivor.
She does kind of like think for a moment. This is a Sombra who owes you a boon. Are you speaking truth when you say you do not know their name?
I know their name. They owe me the boon. It's
And
Rose.
Rose of, and she kind of gestures toward the rack that sits below the large window.
The La Sombra. Yeah. Yeah, he kind of thumbs out there. We discussed the boon after a series of events that occurred between us, and she agreed to it. Now, since then, I believe that she has gone missing.
And beyond her, is that all?
As of this particular moment, the Nosferatu would be ideal. He would seat himself well there, though I am aware that there is a direct and distinct lack of gangrel in the city.
Is that an insinuation of your Coda remake, Dakota?
Of course it is.
And she's okay with this.
I personally would say yes, I think she would be okay with that. But I don't think that she is looking to find herself with a child.
Also, again, the issue of them potentially becoming thin blood, as Dakota is of that generation as well. But perhaps there are other gangrel in the city.
There are a few.
Rosa, maybe. It's an option.
Additionally, Toreador.
Grant does not belong in our clan.
I figured you would say that.
But she just shot that down immediately.
I would never give permission for that. I apologize.
It's completely understood. You just don't understand the type of resource Grant actually is.
I believe you, and I don't wish to. What little I know of the man screams everything that is not Toreador.
I'm
Am I
inclined
wrong?
to agree.
She looks over to Ava. You're welcome to disagree, Miss Heloise. You know him much better than I do.
Ava doesn't disagree. If you want my opinion, I actually do think Nosferatu, from the skills that Grant brings to the table and his seeming for survival and networking, getting to that network in his past, I think that clan suits him best.
I appreciate your words.
Though I do think if the opportunity were to arise, while he would be a boon to the Nosferatu, I personally believe, based off of how he reacts, how he responds, it's very Bruja. He's quick on his feet. He's led with his emotions, though he's, despite being hasty at times, he is capable of thinking things through.
Do you know of any?
From this moment, no. The last Bruja that I was aware of was the sheriff, and I still don't know where he is either.
He's a busy man. I wouldn't burden the sheriff with a child. And while I respect
the previous sheriff.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought Mathis you were talking about the current one.
No.
She shakes her head. That wouldn't suffice either way. He was never one. He was never a role model, a good sire. I don't think he'd ever make one. Well, the burden is still in your lap then. A name. And with that name, obviously, a clan. And as long as they agree, I would like you to bring it back to my doorstep. The answer is not no entirely. But you need to have the sire in mind, if not you.
What if Snitch agrees and he sires?
I would sit here surprised. But if you could get him to agree, I can't see why not necessarily. But I've never known Snitch to be one who wants child.
It wouldn't be his to worry about.
Even if it was under your watch, it is still his blood that runs through their veins.
And is it not similarly mine? The Nos blood consistently pumps through both of us, and I've been operating very closely with Snitch these days.
You don't have to debate the semantics with me. I don't disagree with you. If you can get Snitch to agree, then we can move from there. It wouldn't be a bad call either way. Chicago could benefit from new blood. We have restricted for almost 15 years now, I believe.
I'm aware.
So not no.
That's good. This is...
If you choose to be the one to sire him, understand the risks that come with that.
I understand.
And ensure that you ask permission first before you attempt it.
There are no issues with that. I don't see myself going down that route.
And if Dakota wishes to gamble, let me know.
I think it would be more likely that Snitch would offer to sire before Dakota does.
She actually gives like the lightest little like chuckle at that. I don't think you're wrong.
That's all that I have, my prince. Thank you.
And as you say, she's like, you've given me a lot to think about, Mr. Hopkins. Perhaps it is time to loosen the rules on the population of kindred here in Chicago. Time for the younger to thrive.
If I may speak, not so brazenly, we have seen newer faces in the city. And it has been some time since an Elysium has been called. Some introductions would be lovely, because I'm afraid that I have a reputation that supersedes me. Some people, when they see me, they're a little frightened.
Well, should you return with somebody who might be able to accept the siring, that perhaps would be cause of a celebration in some fashion within Elysium.
My graces. Thank you. I'll see.
Thank you.
See the
Surprising
Snitch
visit.
immediately.
Yeah, she nods. And do you look to just leave at that moment?
I'll wait for Ava.
Okay.
I did want to say, my Prince Bella, to be quite frank, I wanted to see if maybe you and I could spend more time together in the future. I feel like it's been quiet. Obviously the roses, Sienna, like I haven't really heard from you or her or anybody in a while. And I do come sleep at the Ivory Tower almost every night or every day. So I don't know. I just feel like we could spend some more time together.
How are you like, is this Ava almost like uncertain the way she's kind of pitching this? Is it almost like yo, let's hang out, bro? Kind of like...
Yes. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to do any subterfuge or anything. She's trying to be genuine about it, but maybe yes, it comes off a little awkward because she is speaking to her prince still. So yeah.
Why don't she listens and you see her shoulders kind of drop a little bit. You can see her defense almost loosen just slightly as she goes to finish what's left in her wine glass. And as she brings her glass down, you see behind it just a smile sat there. And she says, I would love nothing more, Miss Eloise. It has been quite a while. And your coterie mate, Dakota Rain, also last we spoke, left saying she'd like to spend more time, but I haven't seen her since. I figured perhaps the both of you. When are you free next?
Perhaps sometime next week, then.
I'll have Rhonda reach out.
Of course.
Anything else I can help the two of you with?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, that is
Out of
all.
game. Ollie wants to let his eyes wander a bit.
Absolutely. Give me it's not really an investigation because you're not walking around the room.
Sure.
So give me a wits awareness, please.
Yeah.
Do you want to rouse the blood and add 2 dice?
No. I mean, yeah. Okay, I'm doing it.
All right.
Oh, thank God.
All right. You don't get any hungrier.
Risky.
But 2d10 extra, which is nice.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No crit. No messy crit. That's what I was looking at.
Oh no.
And you're welcome to re-roll 2 of those if you choose.
Five. You know what? I'm real good with 5 right now.
So as Ava is having her conversation, Ollie's eyes begin to dart around, taking in a familiar room, even though it's been a little while since you've been here, Ollie. Not much has really changed. You've been given the description of a plain wooden box, and as you look over on the right-hand side where Dakota and Bella would often read their stories, you see nothing that looks familiar on top of the table there or nearby the chairs. Over by the desk in the main area, you don't see anything there either, other than a few stacks of papers. She keeps her area relatively tidy. A small bouquet of roses, almost so stereotypically, sits on the desk as well, along with the bottle of wine she's been drinking from. And even behind that, the shelf near the window, very little sits. And you continue to look through the room until the thing that catches your eye is the thing you realize your eyes had been naturally averting simply because of what you are. The fireplace. Above it, as the fire roars, you can see a plain-looking wooden box on the mantelpiece, amongst a couple of other decorations that seem to keep it from looking too drab. You catch it just as the conversation wraps up. Well, if that's all, enjoy your evenings and a pleasant surprise.
Ollie bows and begins walking away.
Same.
And as you leave, the doors open before you even can reach for them, and you're escorted over to the elevator by the 2 faceless security guards before you are moving downward to the ground floor. Now, is Dakota going to meet them on their way out? Because, like I said, you probably could get there by the time they're on their way out.
I mean, I can.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll hitch a ride. I mean, what the hell else am I going to do?
Sure. As you guys make your way out of the ivory tower and
Actually,
begin making
question.
your way to... Yeah.
Is Damien's music place on the way to the ivory tower?
No.
It's on a different...
not on
Okay,
the
never
way.
mind then. Peace out. I'm going to the ivory tower.
Okay, cool. So as you get to the ivory tower, you wait outside a little bit. You probably wait a few buildings down. It's not like you wait outside where the fucking like main security is and everything. And Ollie and Ava, as you stride out and start making your way to the vehicle that's probably parked a couple blocks away.
Could Ollie pause briefly and ask Ava if it give me a second? And he stops just outside of the elevator.
Sure.
I'll just see me outside.
Okay.
After she leaves, Ollie's gonna walk up to Katie.
Okay.
Hey, Katie.
Oh, she looks over her shoulder, slightly surprised. Oh, Mr. Hopkins, I didn't hear you coming.
You got a second?
What can I do for you?
Hey, I sensed some tension when we walked in. I know, not between you and me, but between you and Miss Eloise. And I asked her about it in the write up, and man, she was, believe it or not, she's kind of tore up about it.
She laughs. I don't believe you for a second, Mr. Hopkins.
I knew that you'd say that.
It's a fun game we play.
The thing is, I knew that you'd say that, right? I knew that you were gonna, because she was like, she got this pride, okay, just like a fucking brother. She got a lot of pride, and I think it has something to do with the blood a little bit.
She looks to you and she nods. I agree. Ava has a lot of pride. What she lacks is respect.
Yes, and while I am completely inclined to agree with you, Ava doesn't have the ability to say sorry.
She laughs.
But
whatever you say, Mr. Hopkins.
Let me continue this.
Continue.
I asked her if she would even tried saying sorry for whatever happened. She gave me a quick rundown, right? Like a cliff notes of events. And she said that she when she gets all tongue tied, right? She gets a little stupid and she gets tongue tied. And I was like, have you just tried just being like, I'm really sorry? And she's, I can't, I just can't do it. And she's like, maybe I should buy him dinner. You know, maybe I should, because she said she saw your ring and she was like, maybe I should buy him dinner, you know, like get him out. And I was like, that's a fucking great idea. That's a really great idea. And she just gave me those eyes, you know, the Heloise eyes. You've seen them. They're real fucking intense, right? And I was like, you want me to do it for you? And she was like, oh my God, Ollie, please, would you? So she wants me to ask you if you want you and your husband to go out in an apology.
She is politely smiling the whole time, and when you're done, she tilts her head to the side just a little bit. Mr. Hopkins, you are incredibly sweet man. You really are. More so than I've ever met a Nosferatu to be, not to lump you in with the rest. But I know Miss Heloise well. For a long time, I was the one who had to make sure she was messes were cleaned up. Somebody ended up having an issue in her apartment. I made the calls. I took care of it. She needed to contact somebody within. That's my job. I take care of it. She needs to talk to the prince. I'm the only one who can take care of that for her. I took care of it. And why? Because Ava was the prince's or one of the prince's many favorites. And I make sure that her favorites are taken care of. For years. And when I simply asked her if she even knew my name, and she said no, it spoke to the volume of respect she has for the work that I do here. I may not be one of you, but I am also not mortal either. You've done nothing, Mr. Hopkins, and you clearly care about your friends a lot. And I'm sure Ava, to her true friends, is incredibly nice. But as far as I'm concerned, Miss Heloise is Miss Heloise, and I will do my job as needed and nothing more.
I understand. Yeah, you can't blame a guy for trying.
She shakes like you're too goddamn sweet. Get out of here.
I know it's gonna get me in trouble one of these days. Seriously though, it still stands. If you and your husband want to go out sometime, I'm happy to. Katie, I take care of my favorites too. You're right up there.
She smiles. I might just take you up on that.
Just say the word.
Enjoy your night. Enjoy your night, Mr. Hopkins, and tell Ava to enjoy hers.
He nods and he quickly trots outside.
As you were outside, Ava, while that conversation was happening, you would, of course, see Dakota not too far away.
Can I have fed before I got
absolutely.
here? Or
go ahead and make your hunting roll.
Yeah, okay, that's not okay. Yeah.
I imagine you went to the rack because that's closest.
Yeah. Okay, I got a solid 2.
Dude,
I'm a little
that's all you
frustrated.
need.
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
Yep, you're fine. You drink down to 1.
Perfect.
You're good.
Then I definitely meet Ava out front.
Yep, Ava, you see Ava and only Ava walking out the ivory tower, and you two lock eyes pretty quickly as she makes her way over to you.
Oh,
Did she choose to sleep with Ollie instead? Told you.
No, Ollie, he said he had something to do very quickly. And I don't think
I
that
bet
was
he
Bella.
invites her to the labyrinth.
You know, that is his date spot. So
Right? Am I the only person? I'm so glad somebody else picked up on that.
yes,
Free date to the labyrinth with Grandma, with the sheriff, with me, you.
yes. So why not Bella?
That's a joke.
Also,
I say out front of the ivory tower. That's a joke.
also, why are you here?
I was feeling energized.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long Ollie is going to be, but I guess we can all head back together.
Yeah.
Ollie would probably pop out around this point. And yeah, unless he says anything right now, you can make your way back to the bar.
All finished?
Good.
Yeah, I was just inviting Katie to Labyrinth. Yeah.
Oh, it was Katie. I told you it was somebody.
Katie.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, at this point, I didn't invite her to Labyrinth. No, Katie, what a sweet girl.
You know what? I should say hey. I run over to the door, like peep my head in the lobby, and I'm like, Katie.
God.
She snaps up and she smiles when she sees you. She waves.
I quick run over, you know, the way like a kid does, and I lean in across the desk with zero manners, and I go,
Yeah.
Katie, if Damien drops by, will you tell him I was asking about him?
I'll make a note of it. And you see her scribble something down on a post-it
You're the
note.
best, Katie.
You two are such suck-ups. You call me a Camarilla suck-up? Look at the two of you right now.
Just because there's one person in the city that likes us more does not mean we're the suck-ups.
Additionally, it's punching down when you beat up the sweepers, okay?
I didn't.
I don't even know what that means, but I just...
I'll tell you about it later.
Can we please go
Yeah,
now?
it's like on that, as Ava rolls her eyes so hard, the entire block can feel it. We make our way back to the lights out pub in relative quick time.
He's gonna part. He's gonna separate.
Sure.
I mean, it's probably one of those things where it's like brief conversation, and then he's gonna head down to try to find Snitch. That's still on the table.
Yeah. Well, you should you got to share info at least.
You're
a little
going
bit.
to the labyrinth?
Oh yeah, did you even ask like how did it go with the embracing
I
thing?
suppose I'll fill Dakota in if you want to
Sure,
make
sure.
this an urgent thing.
I mean, Ollie's gonna ask right away, like, yeah, if she says about the whole embracing thing, could have been better. Definitely could have gone a lot worse. I didn't get a yes, but I didn't get a no.
What did you get?
I gotta get me a name, and we'll consider it. And when I told her that it will likely end up being likely Nosferatu, and I even posited the idea of potentially a gangrel, she wanted an idea of whom it could be. And I said maybe Snitch or someone older than us. And Dakota is going to be my angle because she can get me in contact with someone older.
And she said...
She said she's going to need names. She's not opposed to Snitch being the sire, though it's very unlikely he's going to want to. So, if he's going to be a free agent, and
so she's willing to...
She said she wants to lighten it. She wants to lighten the restrictions after 15 years.
And this would
She
be the
likes the
first
idea.
siring?
Yeah.
In a very long time.
The first known
allowed.
siren in 15
I'll do
years.
it. I mean, I won't do it, but I'll have one of the gangrel do it.
Oh?
Come on, the first siring in Chicago is a clan that's not even accepted in the Camarilla. Give it to me.
Do you have a gangrel in mind?
A couple.
I
Is there a better power play than rolling into an Elysium to introduce the newest kindred at the feet of the prince, and it's a gangrel?
I mean, while I'm inclined to agree, I still want to give him the option.
Oh, whatever.
Right? Like, that's something, it's a courtesy, right? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't get the fucking option.
According to Bella, it's going to be a hard no, though. So
I'll handle Bella. I'll ask.
well, yeah, more. Or I say more so the Snitch. She thinks Snitch is going to say no without any convincing.
She needs me to bring back a name, so I got to get you to give me a name of someone that's down for it in the gangrel before
Yes.
I can even get it approved.
You should probably ask your gangrel friends first. Get one of them to say yes, and then.
Because she said it's a no until I come back and approve the names.
Okay.
Does Dakota have any ideas? As to
Yeah.
who?
Yeah. It depends on how deep I want to put the dagger. McTavish is always an option. So is Moon.
Well, okay, I'm more on board for Moon.
Technically, Beckett is walking around town. Though I question if he would do
Yeah.
it.
Only Beckett would do it.
Can I actually ask something?
Ooh.
This is Tracy also asking this because
Sure.
this is one of the things in V5 I still to this I hate and cannot understand. If we get somebody to sire Grant that is a higher that is that
Lower
means
gen.
Grant will be.
So
I mean,
if someone
he'll-
of 8th gen sires him,
he'll
becomes
be
9th
ninth
gen.
gen.
Correct.
So he's
So
first of all,
he'll
I do not like that.
he'll be very powerless early on. His glass ceiling is just higher than yours.
Yeah.
So he
I do
doesn't
not like
get
this.
birth. He does get birth though. He would immediately have access to a higher rouse check abilities,
Yeah.
able to
You
reroll zeros
haven't
on his
heard the
disciplines
best
more.
option yet.
I want a 12th or 11th gen.
What about
Well,
my
12th is where you risk thin blood. So it
Or,
would have
sorry,
to be 11th.
What about my sire?
She's here.
She owes me big fucking time.
And
Especially
she would
if
turn
she
you
plans...
into, because what generation are you, Dakota? 12?
12th
We're all the
generation.
12. We're all
Yeah,
12.
except
yeah.
for except for Tracy, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
And she
yeah.
owes me one if she plans to be part of this pack at all.
I thought we were all 13th. No, we're all 13th. I'm 12.
I've got it written down.
13th is where if you'll sire a thin blood who's 14th.
I think it's
so,
between
Yeah,
12
okay, yeah,
and
that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, I have my book right here. Hang on.
Yeah.
So no, 12th gen is fine. 12th makes a 13th gen, and 13th is not a thin blood.
Right.
14th is a thin blood.
Embraced within the last 15 years, 14th, 15th, or 16th generation is a thin blood. 12th and 13th is a blood potency of 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we're probably 12 or 13.
If
Then you would have to be 13 if you're going to sire her.
That being said, I turned out pretty okay.
Yes. If
Grant would be like my brother.
You love that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and you bet the chumming up even further. I'm still gonna go ask Snitch, and I at least want to be able to bring that information to Bella.
Bella could say no to your sire, by the way. She still has
It's
the option
true.
to say no to any of any options.
She is it known that your sire's back in town though?
I am allowed to have Gangrel in and out in the train yard as much as I want.
I think we should get both options. We should get Snitch, Nosferatu, and maybe a Gangrel, because she might not like the idea. She might say no to a Gangrel. And so if it's like, okay, well,
Not
no,
if I
then...
ask. She wants me to ask.
Also, do we have any leads on Bruja outside of Damien?
Gracious.
Okay, that is hard. Stop. No, it's not gonna happen.
You want a 5th or 6th gen or whatever?
No.
I'm telling you, we can solve this problem by simply putting Alrika's name.
I mean, it's good. I would still hit Moon, right? If you think that he can do it, hit either or. Just having multiple names on it. We don't know the history between. You said Rika. That's a name.
That's my sire's name.
Maybe Bella and Rika have history that we're not aware of.
Possibly, considering the fact she dumped me here.
Yeah, that could be a problem. I think just having a couple of answers is better than just having a single.
Regardless, I don't like the idea of Grant being older than us in generation. I'm just saying. It makes me feel weird. We're older than him. We have more seniority. If he's going to be... I don't like that, personally. I want him to be 13th generation.
How about this?
Just saying.
The week is not up. The next gather, I'll pitch the idea.
Cool. Sounds good. Also, you kind of have to drop that whole personal petty thing that you got going on, because Damien's forever 14 years old, and I'm older than he is.
A lot of it doesn't really make sense, honestly, and I hate it.
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
No, I'm just complaining, as I usually do.
Okay. Just making sure. I was very confused. We jumped topics so fast.
Damien somehow always gets brought up.
You
guys, just saying.
I'm gonna go see what Snitch has to say. Plus, I need to posit that idea, right? If he's gonna be able to move, we gotta see if he can do it, or if he's even willing to play ball.
I thought we should meet back up at the bar before you get too excited about asking Snitch to yoink the...
Okay, all right.
You just go to the bar first.
Yeah, if that's the case, if it feels like there's news, then yeah, he'll go to the bar first.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to have too much sensitive conversation as you're walking to the car anyway. You make your way to the vehicle, drive your way back, and within, 30 to 45 minutes, you're back within the bar's confines. Grant flipping burgers. It's pretty prime time right now, so he doesn't have a lot of time to chat. He's just cooking away as the crowd, feasts upon his delicious burgers that he makes. He gives you a simple wave, but do you make your way to the booth, or are you just having a chat in the kitchen?
Probably booth.
Okay. To the booth you go. All three of you sit down. The curtain gets drawn.
Guess who was at Cratious's little classroom tonight?
The only person that I know that sees him is Jackson.
Jackson was there.
Okay,
So I
all
was
right.
like, hey, Jackson, Sabat. And he was like, no.
Okay. Yeah, that checks out.
So just take the phone number, forget payphones exist, and just burn it, Ava.
Okay. Are we sure we don't want to just keep it in the pocket just in case things go to
humiliating
absolute
words
shit?
of Cretius calling me a dumbass are reverberating through my head over and over again. No, so I'm going to give them to you. That's a dumb idea, Ava. They suggested that we stay very, very far away from the Sabbat. My plan is to see if any gangrel want to jump ship and join the clan. And if not, they can get the fuck out of town.
Okay. How do you plan on getting those gangrel? Are you gonna call up for another Sabbat meeting and then just say, "Hey, come with me"?
You said you had a general idea of where they were pitter-patting about?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll go for a 4-wheel ride.
Good luck trying to find a possibly below ground, dank, nasty looking warehouse thing.
I imagine when I start tagging their buildings, Camarilla, they'll come out to play.
Okay. You know what? That is a fun little gangrel project you can do.
That's right. It sure is. So you don't worry about them anymore, Ava. No Sabbat for you.
Okay. No Sabbat for me.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We can still work around that.
Number
right?
2, I figured out how to get Bella out of the tower.
Alyssa.
What is... Yes,
Oh,
yes,
oh,
in
wait.
Elysium.
I didn't mean to know that.
Yes. That's it. What is the one reason she comes out of her tower, Ava?
We actually we brought that up to her, that it's been a long time, and that's when she was like, it's been 15 years since this thing has happened.
So
She didn't really say it like that, but yes.
Sorry, I
thinking-
don't speak twatty.
An Elysium is perfect. Now, with the added seed of potentially having the first new kindred be a gangrel, and all the gangrel come rolling up at an Elysium in which we are absolutely invited to, but in which we are not actually represented in any way at the table, it's fine. It's fine.
It's going to be an interesting Elysium.
But all eyes will be on us, which means they will not be on the ivory tower. And who is really, really, really good at being creepily unseen?
Rudy.
Your grandmother.
Oh, Emmy? Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
She can get
Okay.
in and out of places we can't. She has contacts we don't. And technically, the prince has no idea that we are even in cahoots with your grandmother.
Well, how's she gonna get by Katie? Or she's gonna hit her with a thing. I saw her do that. I saw her do that shit. She did that in the labyrinth. And I didn't even know that you could do that to them. But she was like, don't move. And it was just like, I don't know, it was weird. The whole thing was
I
weird.
say Emmy snags the dagger, while all of us are seen at Elysium, in which Bella has to be there to welcome in the new gangrel to the camp.
Okay.
I'm
Sounds like a
telling you,
fun
Grant is the
project.
dawning of a new era. The first new kindred is a gangrel, and he promises himself to the Camarilla. And what have the Lasombra done but cause fucking problems? Let me have this, Ollie.
Look, I want to, but it's not up to me.
Grant!
It's up to her, and it's up to him.
You shout for Grant. You can see him peering over as you pull the curtain back a little bit. He's like flipping a burger.
Put it on autopilot. Get in here.
He just makes a gesture, and one of Ava's mooks, fills the spot as he steps out, unties his apron, he jogs over, and without even asking, he slides into the booth itself. Very rarely do I get the opportunity to talk business.
Do it. Say it. Tell
Say
him,
what?
Ollie.
Oh, is it time? Is it happening? He pulls the curtain closed and he just props himself up.
Hold on. Look. I went to the prince. It's still illegal, kid. We can't get you to turn, but they might lift the restrictions. And it was a PTA meeting, all right, and I got to get approval for who your future parent is.
All right, well, I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead, find somebody.
I may have got May. I say strong May. It looks like it's leaning in one direction, but strong May. And I wanted to ask you if you have a preference.
Of?
The preference is clan. We talked about this.
Yeah. The weird role-playing in-game classes you all abide by.
My clan is Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Ava's clan is the Toreador.
Yep.
And Dakota is the Gangrel.
Yep. I remember that. Do I get to choose which one?
I've been given. I'm gonna be real with you. That was the hardest no I've ever heard in the history of no's.
What?
She somehow slipped a fucking in there without saying fucking. Okay, it was so strong of a no.
What is wrong with me being like Ava?
She calls the shots, man. She's the princess of Toreador, and she calls the shots.
So, sorry.
So take me out of the picture and look at these two
It's
lovely
impossible
Dakota
to do,
roommates.
beautiful girl, but I'll do my best.
Look at Dakota and look at Ollie. Which one would you want to be with?
That's
Part
really.
of.
I'm gonna be real. That's fucking rude. And if you were a dude, I would slap the shit out of you. That's rude as fuck.
I'm not a dude, and you don't want me to slap you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to that jerkbag right there.
Oh.
Don't base
Me?
it off looks.
Okay.
There's
Base
a
it
lot of
off
other
of
things that are going on.
The
Okay.
things that they've done.
Right.
You get a choice. And we have to get permission. I still got to run it up the chain of command. But you either get Gangrel or you get Nosferatu.
Would you ever date a Nosferatu? As he turns to Ava immediately.
I'm
Well,
going to be real with you, kid. She's not going to date a Gangrel either.
Hey, she might.
Yeah, first of all. Well, what am I? Okay, I choose another one then.
You know any others?
Sure. The other ones that you aren't.
Oh,
The shadow people.
that's a big no.
is it though?
The guys with suits all the
yeah,
time. They're
actually
all
would
like
be a big
business.
You mean the Ventru?
Yeah, I could be a good. I could do the numbers.
There's a strong chance that they're going to say no to that. This city's got a lot of Ventru already.
And they're going to take you away from us for a really long time.
Between 5 and 50 years or some shit like that.
Wait, what?
Yep.
They go through like private school.
You want to go to school? For those numbers and those suits?
What the? Who wants that?
They kind of admire it. Honestly, they like it.
Grant, let me give you the pitch.
Is that what
You want,
Emmy
you want,
is?
you want the gangrel pitch?
Yeah, give me the gangrel pitch.
All right. You wake up every
You know
day-
what? Hang on. And he like strains out his shirt. He sits upright. He crosses his arms. Sell me.
Great. Well, our clan tends to live outside the usual code of things. We tend to
So
be
far?
particularly strong and or well built, like a brick shit house. I'm sure you understand that term.
Yeah. I'm what you call thick fat, right? Fat, thin,
Yeah,
fit,
yeah.
thick,
Can
thick,
take
thick.
a proper puncher setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
When we get mad, we turn into fuzzy, cute creatures.
I've never seen you do that.
Yeah, you have. You just you
I
don't
have.
remember. With the nose,
Hey.
the claws.
Yeah. That's
Not
right.
all of
That's
us
kinda
get the same stuff. Okay, well, we all have something we have to deal with. And once a month, we meet to have beers around a fire with other of our clan and just shoot the shit. Sometimes we hunt and run and chill.
I love camping. That sounds fun.
There's some stunning implications that come with that, though, right now, and it's something that Dakota is particularly aiming to make better in the city.
Which is that currently you answer to me.
Dakota is basically the leader of the gangrel in the city at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not really all that new right now. I take orders from all three of you as it is.
I don't know if you actually listen to what I say.
I try.
I know, but I don't think you try hard enough.
And if it's coming down to a sell, I'm not going to try to sell you on the Nosferatu.
What was Saito?
Dead.
No, but what was he?
A Tremere.
He was on his way to dead.
What if we do that? That's kind of
No,
cool,
because
right?
they're fucking hated in the city.
Oh,
They are hated in the city.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain of it.
And
they
they're
still have their uses.
Stand
they're
with me here,
gonna-
Dakota. Come on.
yeah, they're gonna lock you away even if you are behind the walls of this sketchy
And you know what
library.
they do, right? You know what they do? They literally teach you. They lock you in a fucking library and they teach you. You want to be taught more? How much more do you want to be taught?
Okay, I was never good at math, but I feel like if the topic of school was magic, I might be a little bit easier to learn.
Hey, I like this.
Grant, you have 3 options. 1,
3, okay.
Nosferatu.
What- yep,
2,
okay.
Gangrel.
Okay.
3, you stay exactly as you are and maintain your freedom.
Yep.
Can I add one more? Can I
No,
just throw it out
those
there?
are your 3 options.
What if I do The in between.
No.
Okay, no, it doesn't work
The
like
walk
that.
in
We
the
don't.
gay one. That
Nah, that's you watch Blade too many times.
No, that's what the kid is.
They
Nelson,
are
right?
No,
currently
he's against the
slaughtering,
law. He's against the law.
slaughtering thin bloods. Would you
There's-
like to
yeah.
become part of the hit list?
Look, the upside, Dakota, give him the quick and the dirty on disciplines.
I kind of did.
You could get a pet.
Yeah, I got the lesson from you all before.
Strong, fast,
strong, fast. You become an animal.
so good survival
You
instincts.
could get
And
a
good
pet
survival
and
instincts.
make it your best friend.
Yeah, like my dogs.
Like your dog, like her dogs or cats.
I do
That's
the same
neat.
thing.
All right, Grant, come to the back alleyway. I'll show you something.
Okay.
Come here.
Okay. And he gets up, slightly confused, but waddles his way
I
out to
grab
the
him by
back.
the apron. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
drag
he
him out
goes, he
back.
goes.
I toss him in the alleyway, kind of, and I make sure there's nobody around. I'm like, just back up a little bit.
All right. What the hell is about to happen?
And I'll shape change into the bird.
It doesn't even take much long before you hear Grant go, "What the fuck? Holy, that looks like it. Are you all right? Does that
And I'll
hurt?"
I'll gotta take off and make a few loops and then come back down because I don't really
Sure,
want to
sure,
be
sure.
seen.
He's wide-eyed.
When I'm done and I get back up, I gotta, if he's still making noise, I'll be like, shut your mouth.
I could hear your bones like cracking.
Shut your,
the?
shh.
That's like what that kid did.
It's like what you could do.
Oh yeah, she's not okay.
I'm
Okay,
gonna hit you with my hard pitch.
Yeah. Go ahead. He's impressed by Gangrel so
then
far.
I'll grab him and toss him in the door back to the booth, and I'm like, shh.
He's also very clearly enjoying being the center of attention.
Of course he is.
So he is.
I haven't even made the
prolonging
best
this.
part of the pitch yet, but
Yeah. He
Here's
comes
my
back
hard pitch.
inside as he joins you back in the booth. He's just wide-eyed and looks like, has that childlike wonder kind of across his face.
You could go down the route like me, and you can be absolute upfront bruiser. In my clan, I am capable of wielding some really devastating power, whereas in you, without particular arms, you can't hurt me. And under normal circumstances, I couldn't really hurt other kindred. But when I call in my blood, I can do that. I can leap up buildings. I can punch cars and move them with my hands. I can go invisible. You've seen that. You've witnessed it firsthand. Can disappear in front of you. I can move completely silent. You got that from me. The other
Yeah, I
upside,
remember.
I can speak to animals.
Pretty cool.
It is all right.
I feel like I'm being
I
convinced.
guess a few of us can talk to animals, actually.
Can you talk to animals
I
too?
can't talk to animals, but I know there's a few of us that can.
That's fucking handy. It's really nice to have other people that can talk to animals. There's sometimes, like, don't talk to pigeons. It'll waste your fucking time. I promise.
It's like dogs.
The downsides. This is literally the only downsides. In social situations, I am nobody's friend. Nobody loves me, okay? I'm ugly. This thing that happens under the mask, that's what happened because of my clan. And with Dakota, when she sort of loses it, she becomes an animal in places. That's the downside, and we have to live with that. You get a choice.
There's some
Really
other
downside.
died sounds on
Do I
some
get to
sites.
choose where I become an animal?
No.
No,
No.
sir. No, we're not going
Could have
there.
been very, very.
And you don't get to
very
choose.
Cool
You don't
party
get to
trick.
choose where you get ugly. You remember seeing Rudy? You saw what happened to his body?
Yeah.
That's very, very similar to what happens to most of my clan. You saw Needles, right? You remember Needles?
Yep.
Needles is also part of my clan.
Well,
Do you
okay.
want to hear the best part of my pitch?
Turning into an animal wasn't the best part. I'm listening.
No, this is the part where it's all about you.
I am all ears.
Out of game, I know what you're going to say, and this is fucking dirty. This is such a heavy sway.
What if I told you that if you chose Gangrel, you'd be the first kindred sired in this city in 15 years? You'd be celebrated at a party with all the other kindred in town, introduced to the prince, and you'd come straight into the Gangrel pack, part of the new team.
Only if I go Gangrel?
Well, I guess you'll technically be the first Nosferatu, but
You'd be accepted amidst the Nos as well. I'm not going to duty it up. You will be leveraged by any and every clan that can.
me included.
Because you'll be the first blood. And you will basically be under her control because she calls the shots for the Gangrel right now. And based on who she recommended being your sire, you two will technically be brother and sister.
Well, all right. That ain't the worst.
Nope. But she's still going to call the shots.
Yeah, that
Because
you have
right
to deal
now,
with.
no matter how she likes it, unfortunately, there's a good chance that she gets lobbied into the position of primogen of our city.
That's not gonna happen.
She doesn't want it. But I could think of a bunch of other kindred right now that are sitting at primogen that didn't want it.
It's not gonna happen. That being said, we would sure like to have you as part of the gang.
So, oh, wow. Oh, this is the day I've been dreaming of, sort of, kind of. We're on the way to the day I've been dreaming of. Is it only the two of you? I mean, not two of you, but two clans. The only two clans I can choose from?
I can't think of another one that would owe me any favors or owe us anything, really. But push come to shove, the one that I recommended potentially being your sire in my clan was given a soft yes. And we haven't been given anything currently other than give me some names from the gangrel.
Oh, such a heavy decision.
It is. It's your life, Grant.
It's
And
the
you know
next,
what?
it's my life beginning. That's what it is.
It's also the fact that you're not really capable of talking to any of your family anymore. You'll no longer be able to see your nieces and nephews. Your brother will have to believe that you're dead. Grant will be dead. We will have to dead name you, remove you. You no longer exist in the world. There will be a burial. There will be an obituary. You no longer exist during the day.
Yeah, yeah. I thought of that. I mean, if I have to choose between the two of you,
Simmer on it.
oh, you don't need it right now?
Simmer on it, Grant.
Okay. What about Emmy? Would she do it?
That may not be good for you or Emmy.
I don't think that's good for anything.
Yeah, no.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Emmy's kind of enemy of the state right now.
Yeah. And it gets weird with Ollie. This is Grandma. What does that make you?
My uncle.
Uncle Grant. That's a great name.
No, I
I
don't.
love it.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I'd be a cool dead uncle.
Cool uncle. Yeah.
Blech.
Okay, well, if it makes never mind.
But let me peter out this flame right now so you get a real understanding of what's about to happen. You pick a clan, and no matter what's gonna happen, this is me no longer. I can't punch up for you here, friend. That woman right there, and I point to Ava, will not date you. That woman right there will play you.
So what was the date you set us up for then?
Don't act surprised. Don't act fucking surprised, Ava.
Wait a minute. I asked for clarification. If she actually wanted to go on this date, you lied to me.
No. I asked her if she wanted to, if she was capable of it. We ran it. And
He
then
looked
somehow
over to
you wound
Ava.
up you wound up with who? With 11 other scuzzos?
Yeah, some freedom fighters who said they wanted to do what you guys were doing.
Okay, buddy. If you see them ever again, don't ever hear them out. Run. Just bolt. In fact, go into the biggest, most populated public place that you possibly can and yell rapist. All right? Because they are trying to run you.
This is exhausting.
Yeah. Welcome to our life. It's exhausting. And we can't even really get exhausted anymore.
Well, okay. What if we wait until what you guys are doing is done? And then maybe I could have some extra options.
No, you're kind of part of the plot for what we're doing, so you're gonna have to make the decision pretty soon.
Yeah, you wanted this.
Wait, I don't.
You've
Wait,
been-
okay, hold on. So
Yes,
I
you're a
have to choose
pawn.
now? So
You're
what if
a
I choose?
pawn.
I don't want it. Then what?
No, you made it on Bella's radar. The Prince of Chicago knew your name, and she sees you as an opportunity. Grant, I don't think you realize this is happening.
Oh,
I'm just trying to give you options that we didn't have. Because I was taken in the middle of the night by some homeless guy who beat the shit out of me and then turned me. And if I can recall Dakota's story, she got turned at a burn and then dropped off here. And well, you met Zach and Ava. We didn't
there's
get
no
options.
way you could have someone turn me and not tell her.
No.
I wouldn't know, Grant. I'm so sorry.
Because if we do that and you get discovered, not only will they immediately kill you, there's a strong possibility that they kill us too.
Well, this is not how I imagined my big day going. If I had to choose between the two, well, you said to simmer on it. I'll simmer on it.
Yeah.
I won't. When do you want an answer?
We'll let you know.
Okay. And if I think of another one that might be able
Nope,
to,
just think on the two.
Okay.
3 options.
Just simmer on the two. If a shooting star falls out of the sky and it's another clan that I didn't think of, and they're like, yeah, we owe Ollie a favor, I'll run it up the chain of command and we'll see what happens. But right now, you got these two teams, man. It's the Celtics and the Clippers. You got to choose one.
Oh man. That's rough. Okay, well, I'll think on it. I very much appreciate it. It'd still be really like it'll be really good to be part of this fully. Finally.
Grant, you're very much already fully a part of it.
Right. So it'll be good to give me a little extra bit of survival.
Yeah.
That's what we're lobbying for. It's giving you a chance to thrive instead of getting shot in the stomach and having my blood pumping through you to keep you alive.
When you put it like that. All right. I'll think about it. I'm gonna get back to cooking. And
Yep, your burgers are burning.
let me know when I need to tell you. And like, what about the guys who do like the
Nope.
undead
Bye,
stuff?
Bye.
All right.
I
Oh,
could
yeah.
use one
Oh,
of those.
Ava, yeah, what?
Bye. Bye.
I
Oh,
could use
and
one of
as you
those.
usher him away, as Ava mutters something, he does leave, and he'll close the curtain behind him, and he makes his way back into the kitchen.
Now he knows his options.
That was horrible.
That went well.
Even giving him something that we didn't have, it felt fucking horrible. I feel horrible.
Yes, not as glamorous as we all thought it would be, or he thought it would be at least.
I
I
mean, it
knew it
beats-
wasn't going to be glamorous.
It beats the shit out of like nailing him in an alley and then him waking up as suddenly craving fucking blood.
Look, I know that we're giving him an opportunity to get to choose his fate, but the fact of the matter is, now that we've asked, he's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, for what it's worth, I'm lobbying for him to be Gangrel as well. Just please, you gotta watch his ass way harder than you did before.
I will give him no special treatment. He will fight for his place like everybody else.
Yeah,
I
but
believe that.
Dakota, it's not exactly a visible secret that you're trying to use him as a point here.
The great thing about being a gangrel is you have gangrel behind you. Grant will be more powerful and more protected than he is flipping burgers here. Because
Yeah,
I'll tell
you're
you,
right.
if he was a gangrel and the Sabbat had kidnapped him tonight, there would be 10 dead Sabbat.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Look, I still gotta go. I gotta go talk to the old man.
Yeah,
You gotta do what you gotta do. I have a homework. From
Homework?
Gracious himself, yeah. He's, troublesome.
What fucking degree are you going for anyway?
And what's the assignment?
Read a book.
What book?
I don't know, I haven't looked at it yet.
All right.
I didn't want to
well,
quite
catch
give
me
him
up.
that satisfaction.
Speaking
Okay?
of books, have you messed with Saito's journal much at all?
Nope,
No.
we're gonna get there. Bye, Ollie.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
I
Ollie,
thought you
Ollie.
got me.
Separates, obviously.
I give Ollie the eyes like, speaking of books.
Ollie is he's gonna he's gonna go invisible.
He steps away. Do you step
like-
outside to go invisible, or
All right.
Yeah, no, he's gonna
fine?
Right,
Yeah.
sneaky fucker.
Go ahead and roll your rouse check because you need it for
He's
to move around
Spanish.
invisibly.
I
little
get
hungrier.
hungrier, and I'm
Ooh, hunger
while I'm
four.
hungry, I'm
Oh.
certainly gonna go feed.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah, you go invisible. What follows that?
He probably can't stop thinking about food. He knows that he needs to go down there, and he's got to take an opportunity to try. Like he saw the eyes.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
saw
of
he saw
course,
those
yeah, yeah.
eyes, and he knows that he's got to make a move on this book.
Does that mean Dakota is chatting with Ava in the booth to keep her in place?
It just means Dakota's gonna do something related to the book. Dakota can't
Sure.
signal Ollie or say anything.
Yeah,
I
no,
have
no.
no way
Ollie
to
steps
message
away.
him. So
You don't know what he does, but he goes invisible. But
What are the chances she left the book?
I doubt she left the book. She had it like in her purse.
So
I was asking, is Dakota keeping her
Yeah, oh yeah,
around?
I'm in the booth. Like, my thought was Ollie said he was going to see Snitch, so
Yeah.
I assumed that was the case.
Cool.
So,
Yeah. I mean, if he sees the book like casually laying around, he's
No.
No,
he's gonna
I
It's never
imagine it's, like,
casually laying
on-
around, though.
on
It's usually like
Ava.
on her at all times.
So, and I unzip my backpack and I pull my book out and I put it on the table. What the hell is it, Mathis?
As you flip it open, the very beginning is a very clear introduction to what seems to be the history of the gangrel.
Oh, boring.
I told you. Tracy woke up and chose violence.
I look at Ava and I'm like, you read a dude's journal
And it's a very interesting, magical, occult journal.
that you can't even understand.
That's what makes it interesting.
Let me see.
Why? What's
I
Watching
want to see.
Tracy and Ava
I
fight
want
right
to.
now
I want to
for control.
see if I can decipher it. I'm educated. I know things.
Okay. Fine.
Who knows? Maybe there are answers in this here book that you think so fucking boring.
The history of the gangrel book is going to help me solve this Tremere's
It
book.
might. It might.
Okay.
Well, creak it open. Let's see his dirty secrets.
Okay, fine. This page is where I was last left off. Until you both told me I am not allowed to do any more premonitions or things.
You know, I've never actually looked at this book because I hate Saito so very much.
Sure.
What do I note anything as I like do a quick flip?
It looks like Saito's handwriting, but it's filled with looks like equations, occult looking symbols, a lot of scribbled notes that have no context to what you're looking at. And if even Ava understands some of this, you would be surprised. It's a lot of ritual. It's a lot of magic. It's a lot of blood magic nonsense and notes. And of course, notes of, you see Sybil's name written in there, like obviously.
So, you know, my boring history book, you know, I have a real reason that I'm want to read it. Why do you bother if you can't even decipher what his journal says? Why bother reading it?
Because there's clearly things he learned and know and understand. And maybe there's something we can learn more about our predicament from this book.
What if there were others that could learn more about our predicament from that book?
Well,
They might help us with our sandwich problem.
I mean, isn't that what we're trying to do? Get others to help us deal with this problem?
I know that, like, the book's really personal.
Yes, it is.
But if we had an opportunity, I think you would understand why we need to take it, right?
To take it. And who would possibly be able to, unless it's Jackson himself that has something.
Saito was a Tremere, Ava.
Yes.
So while you were away, Ollie and I took a trip to visit the
Okay.
Tremere.
Okay.
They've agreed to help us with our sandwich problem for Saito's journal. They want to know what he knows.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why is that? Because you don't want to get rid of it?
Because do you really want to give the Tremere this book and the things that Saito wrote in it?
I
Do
really
you want to
want
give them that power?
I really want to leg up to stop the sandwich. And what if we don't give it all to him at once? Slow drip it, page by page. You keep the core book. We give them bits and pieces until they give us exactly what we want. Because I'm going to be really honest with you, Ava. You can willingly give up the book. Or Ollie and I can take the book. But we don't want to have to do that.
Damn, so it really gonna be like that, Dakota?
And I say that with all the love in my heart.
How about this, Dakota? How about if you want to give a page to the Tremere, you let me have one of my lovely little oozy-goozy premonitions before you hand it over.
Is that the price per page?
One premonition per page.
Ava.
Oh, that's funny.
As much as I feel your wrath at the moment, you and I both know that trying to do that kind of ability per page in his book will kill you.
Then let me do it one more time before you take it away from me.
I didn't say I was going to take it away. Don't get sassy. I said you can pick the pages, but we need to start slow dripping it to the Tremere. What if they can help you with the shadow, Ava? What if they can make sure that when the sandwich does her thing, she doesn't really get to do her thing?
I told Nelson, too, that I would keep this book safe because he's the one that had the book and I took it from him. And I still feel kind of bad about that because he was very protective of this book. It's the last thing Saito has.
All right. Wait.
Vanished.
Wait. Okay. Maybe we can convince this... Oh my god, am I getting it wrong? Sun-Chi? Who was the person?
Sun-Chi, yep.
Sun-Chi. Okay, did I get it right? Okay, maybe we can convince them that for them to be able to look at it, you have to stay in presence of the book. I imagine it would do your heart some good to actually have the damn thing deciphered. They can decipher it for you, bring some closure to your fucking breakup, and, get what they want out of it at the same time. More importantly, you're connected to the thing they're going to be actively working against. You could be a very helpful thing in the, science project of this deal.
All right. Fine. You're right. They might be able to decipher more than what I've been getting from the book so far.
It's worth a shot, I'd say. You were willing to work with a Sabbat tonight. You won't let the Tremere read your boyfriend's diary?
No, you're right. It's probably helpful. I just hope that they share this information.
Well, that's part of the deal, right?
Allegedly. I don't know what deal. Well, actually, first of all, what deal was made?
No deal has been made. I'm talking about the deal we want to make, Ava.
Okay.
They promised us to help with our sandwich problem in exchange for pages and parts of his diary.
You say this as it's something that happened, like...
Correct.
Did you guys, have a little,
We had a pal. Okay, Ollie got really sassy about talking to the Tremere. I didn't want to go in there. It smells like an old library. And she wears a sundress in the house at night.
So you visited...
Who does
the
that?
Tremere?
Yeah.
I agree. It's poor taste. But... Okay, so you visited... Sun-Chi and the Tremere and all of that.
Yeah.
I hope they're well.
Pretentious, yes.
So they're like, okay, we might. Did they know about the situation? They know about.
They very clearly don't want to talk about the situation and are looking for an answer because they're fucking Tremere. Why wouldn't they be? And, if Sun-Chi's library says anything about them, their little philanthropic heart is desperately seeking a way to solve the issue that is going to assure that all the humans in New York City get wiped the fuck out. So, yes, I imagine they have some general interest, yeah?
I assume, and I do think that it would be. I have actually said this. I think it would be useful to have the Tremere on our
And more
side.
importantly, she dodged my questions so hard. She dodged Ollie's questions so hard. She's guilty as fuck. She knows. She just don't want to say she knows. Because the Tremere don't like to be a part of anything anybody else is doing.
No.
So, they don't want to be like, yo, we all have the same problem. They want to have their own fucking problem. And for whatever reason, they think Saito's journal has some fucking answers in it or information, and I say we fucking give it to him.
Okay.
It's,
all right.
it's like payback for all the shit Saito did to us. Like, might as well just sell his information. It'll be good therapy for you, Ava.
Or maybe their blood magic rituals journal. They might be able to help me commune with him.
Let's not get
better.
too excited. Because I can't answer that question for you, though I really look forward to Sunji's answer when you ask that. But, let's just start.
Yes.
With
if I will
the
go with you.
agreements that the next time we visit the Tremere, you'll come with to let them know you're happy to share their journal.
A page for now.
Upon whatever makes you comfortable, Ava.
Okay. A page. And we'll see what they can do. Maybe they can help decipher.
Tell you what's
as a matter of
written
fact, I'll give them a juicy page, like one of these pages that's got Sybil's name on
really
it or
juicy.
something.
Yeah. Why did sandwich?
Sandwich. Yes. Okay. All right. Fine.
Are you going to do a vigilant first?
Oh yeah, don't do that. I don't think that's a good idea.
It's either we ask them to help me talk to him via blood magic ritual, or
you know what? Save your
disperse.
battery. Save your battery for the Tremere. We don't need to do it here in the booth. Tacky.
What if they, out of curiosity, what if they say no? Will you still go through with the deal?
Oh,
If they say no, we're not going to help you contact your
Let's
dead
not
boyfriend.
think about the what ifs, Ava. Let's go. We're going to be optimistic. We're not thinking about the what ifs.
The storyteller's just trying to figure out what Ava might do.
You got to do that on your own time, Matt.
no. You know what? No. It's fine. If they say no, they say no. Ava will probably still do it
That's what
on her own free.
time.
Yes, Ava will still do it on her own free time.
So I'm just saying, I think we're in a prime position where Ollie and I don't have to sneak behind your back. We're instead just going to bring you into the little, little deal.
So was that your plan? Was you?
I didn't really have one. I needed to get you alone, though.
Well, look at that. You got what you wanted for the most part. And
I always do.
Hopefully I'll get what I want too.
Oh, come on, Ava. What do you really want?
Did you say Ava is going to do the premonition on her own?
Yes, I will.
Oh, damn it.
But I thought I heard you say.
Yeah, you know what? If Dakota wants to, do her little thing, I'm gonna do my little thing, okay, on my own free time.
Dakota has a very secret, desperate want to face the sandwich again. So maybe I would, knowing that you could end up into a puddle. Who's gonna mop you up?
This is true.
You need backup.
Are you doing it like tonight to get it out of the way so you can
do it alone?
Well, maybe we should make a schedule. I have my planner.
Yeah, just pencil it. You can go ahead and erase, the phone call to the freedom fighters.
Date.
Yeah, just get rid of that.
Yes. The question is order of importance here and what we need to do.
What do you mean?
I mean, we have the whole grant thing.
Well, that can't go anywhere until I meet with the rest of the gang. Growing. Ollie meets with Snitch.
Okay. It seemed like you both were ready to go do that.
Hell no, I don't. Why am I racing?
It's not like visions usually don't. They feel like they last a long time, but in the real world, they last a couple minutes.
They're like, seconds. Yeah. Well, if we want to do this whole Tremere thing,
I don't want to have shit to do with the Tremere, but Ollie wanted to go knocking, and as usual, I couldn't let one of you go without backup, so I showed up. So here we are, and now we have this plan. I don't really like working with people. I hate people. I hate kindred. I don't really like working with people.
Yes, I know.
So you can bet your bottom dollar I'm unhappy about having to make a deal with the Tremere, but I have a better idea.
What's your idea?
You can come ride with me to Sabat territory. They know you. Then they'll talk to me.
They told me the way to communicate with them was make the phone call thing. So they're not going to be.
Ava Heloise, when have you ever followed the rules?
This is true. I don't. Sure. You know what? I can go with you. I can at least try to help you find where we were from what I remember.
Perfect.
I don't really care that much.
A stroll about. And you know what? We can bring the journal, and if you're really feeling saucy about that ritual later, well, I'll be here to mop you up.
So we're not doing the vision now, then.
I'm trying to talk her the hell out of it. So yeah, just break it with think about it. We got a little bit of a drive, and I don't know how to use a phone or Uber, so you gotta call a ride.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Is she persuading you?
Yes,
Right.
she is.
Good.
God damn it. Dakota. Damn it, Dakota.
I mean, you're not gonna let me go alone, are you?
Yeah, no vision for now. I'm gonna do that damn vision at some point, but
right.
you keep pushing it off. So
I'm just waiting for you to do it.
Just care about you is all. I just care about you.
You never know. It depends, honestly, depending on what you roll, will depend on what you see.
it's
I
true.
have an idea.
I could see nothing.
It's very true, and it could last only seconds as well. But if you want to wait, then next time we get together to play, you'll do it. Just be a few weeks of waiting.
You're right. We have a couple weeks off. We're doing this shit today.
I'm enjoying poking.
Yeah. Shit. I don't want to wait any longer. I've had to wait like 6 weeks. Okay. I did want to do this in our last episode.
Okay, fine. I'll drive. I'll take the van, and you can do it in the back, as always.
Okay.
That's the deal. You have to come with me to Sapat territory, and I'll let you do the fucking thing on the way.
All right. We're doing this.
But
we'll cut away from you in the moment because and we'll return to you before the session is over. Ollie, I imagine, after hearing the conversation while being invisible, probably didn't linger around too much longer and maybe made his way to the sewers. Yeah, that's what I figured. And so you spend, our vision goes down below the streets, seeing through the pipe work, almost in that kind of like cutting it in half style. And as we make our way into the sewers, we can see a very familiar figure trotting along quietly. I imagine there have been plenty of rats that you've made eye contact with and made yourself very apparent to as they scurry off as you wait for somebody to approach you. Are you going into the labyrinth and heading to the church, or are you staying in the sewers and waiting for contact?
I think my intention was to make my way there the way I know how. It's probably
to the
make the most
church?
sense. Yeah, to the church.
Okay, so you'd end up making your way from the sewers into the labyrinth and navigating as you know how through the outskirts, the safe ways, all of which do eventually, a pretty solid way to get to that church that sits deep underground Chicago, being part of the old city. And as you arrive there, unlike last time, where you were around and alone for quite a while before Snitch made himself known, you actually already see Snitch there, not noticing you in any way, but actually having a conversation with what looks like Nails. As you walk closer, you're certain that's Nails.
Needles.
Needles, not nails. Why am I saying Nails? Needles. And when you get close enough where one of them notes you, the conversation between them very quickly ends. And there seems to be a goodbye. And you see Needles give you a little kind of wave, but turn from you and walk in the opposite direction that you came from. Snitch turns to you with his long bony fingers and leather tight skin and his drab, dirty clothes. And with a typical stoic gaze, just gestures for you to come over.
I'll walk up. It's good to see you, Snitch.
He nods.
What are your ears like these days? Been hearing me running through these halls out here?
Occasionally.
You notice that there's a bunch of whites. Not a small amount. There's a lot.
The nights churn onward. What plagues our city draws the attention of unwanted eyes. I'm aware.
Listen, I really don't want to mince words here. I'm going to keep this kind of short. I I need a favor, and it's not something that is a definite right now, because I was presented with an opportunity, and um I need a sire. I approached Bella about getting a child, producing a child, and as you know, my blood's a little thin, a little weak, so I cannot. Thin bloods are not exactly welcome in the city, and I really don't want to put them in this position. And she saw this as an opportunity to welcome new blood into the city, lighten the rules, and bring the first kindred into the Camarilla in Chicago in 15 years. But she called out my blood. She also said it was too weak. She said that I would need to find someone to sire them for me. And I brought up your name. And she was absolutely not opposed to it.
It's rare you approach me and surprise me, Mr. Hopkins. But I sit here surprised. No, I will not sire a kindred into a city on a decline to try and save a political profile of somebody who's one step out the door.
I understand, and I recognize that as well. And I'm not also trying to save their political profile. I frankly couldn't give a shit less. I'm doing this for a very different reason. This person has been the target of direct kindred attacks, and they are trying to manipulate and use them against me in such a way, and I understand. I know exactly how older kindred feel about ghouls, that they are tools. But this person has managed to survive. And I owe them. And they're already fairly indoctrinated into this, and whether or not he becomes a kindred is pretty much out of discussion at this point. I think he's on Bella's radar, and I think she's going to use this as a political point, regardless of what happens and who I feel is best for this. Now, I would like to echo my situation. I didn't really get an opportunity to decide which clan that I was going to. And the other opportunity was potentially for Clan Gangrel. Now, I know what that's going to do in the city as well, since Gangrel have zero representation. It's a fire, regardless. And if I don't make a recommendation of something that I can approve of, she will probably make a recommendation on her own. And I really don't want to see another Lasombra walk in this city.
Have you put any thought into your own sire?
I could ask my own sire, and yeah, we're probably on better terms, but I haven't seen him in, I don't know, a decade. And to be fair, despite our terms, the last time I saw him, I slapped him in the face.
With reason, might I add.
I agree, but what I wanted to echo was my own situation in the sense that I would assume the role of Mala. He's already my ghoul, Snitch.
Would you like me to contact your sire for you?
Do you know my sire?
Enough. But not
What
everyone.
is his relationship like with Bella?
I don't believe he has much of one at all.
Yeah, see, that's part of the problem. I think she only said yes because your name was brought up into it. And I know your situation. He doesn't even have to know. Abandon him to me. And that is even if he chooses. Because right now he's probably vying for Gangrel.
There's a lot of dangers that come with this offer. Myself included. Embroiling myself into the politics deeper.
I wish to take as much responsibility of this as possible. I even am willing to take responsibility of something that you are desperately trying to let go of.
He kind of continues his thought as though what you said didn't even interrupt him. there's an issue. There's no guarantee that she would allow me to step away and for you to adopt him. Even if it's your offer, a prince's decree is final. I haven't had a child in decades.
You said it yourself, though, Snitch. She's on her way out. We know who the next prince is going to be, or at least we have a damn good idea.
There's a condition. Say yes, with a very specific condition.
I'm listening.
We'll talk more details of this siren, but if we were to go through with it, I need you to prepare yourself for the role I've had for you. He gestures around. You know this is a prison as well as it is a place to hide.
I do.
I cannot and will not look over this place for an eternity.
I understand.
Younger blood.
So you wish for me to take over?
When the time comes, yes.
And what will you do?
Leave.
I will. On one other caveat. You speak to the other Primogen, and you elect me Primogen of the Nosferatu.
He takes a moment.
If I am to take your role as keeper of this place, I will need rights that are not granted to me.
We're speaking with an assumption that a particular outcome happens. Not while Bella is princed, I won't. But should circumstances within the city change and a new prince rise to power for whatever reasons, I can step forward on your behalf. I cannot promise they'll say yes. I don't have, nor would I risk that sort of manipulation. But to say I don't have sway would also be a lie.
Even if Grant does not accept the opportunity of being a Nosferatu, I still accept the conditions.
Why? Your actions have spoken opposite of taking this position for yourself.
Things need to change, Snitch. Things have needed to change for a long time. And I'll be the first person to stand up and say that I recognize that you did what you did so that the Nosferatu would have legs.
It wouldn't exist in their current state if it weren't for me. I bear that every day with my own name.
And you recognize that things have to change.
He just nods. The moment you were embraced, change began.
I aim to change things.
And we have an understanding, Mr. Hopkins.
In the interim, I'm going to need you to teach me things. Things that I know that you've never taught another person. I need to know more of the iconography and the signs.
I will pass all my knowledge to you in time. For the moment, we hold a tentative balance within the city. I wish not to rock unless necessary. Now is not the time for you to take my place. But I cannot
agree.
imagine it is going to be long before you do.
Just walk out of this city, though. When the seat changes, make sure that you walk out of this city.
The Nosferatu are sitting in your hands. I will, and with confidence,
Then we have an agreement.
He extends his extremely bony hands with his long fingers for a handshake.
And I'll take it.
And as the hands clasp, our screen cuts to black. And we end this week's episode. We have some holidays coming up, everybody. I don't know if you noticed, but next week is American US Thanksgiving. So we won't be there next week. And then the week after that is PAX. So, and I'm going to be doing a live show in LA. So 3 out of the 4 of us aren't going to be here. But we'll be back the week after that. No, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks time from now.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now.
Yo!
I even agreed to let you do it in the back of the van. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll do the. Oh, that's right. I meant to end on that. Oh, fuck.
Well,
My bad.
We're not offline yet, Mathis.
Another.
Give me a roll. Roll me your. Roll me. I want to know what you roll here. You're forcing a vision.
Yes.
You're gonna have to rouse check.
Yes, a rouse.
You don't get hungrier.
Then a resolve and aspects,
Okay.
which is.
Do you want to rouse again and add 2d10?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Great.
All right. You don't get hungrier. Good.
So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, roll. 7d10.
1, 2, 3, 4,
1,
5.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, you rolled 5 successes.
Yeah.
You only had 1 hunger die anyway, regardless, right? So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not even. Yeah, you just fed. That's right. So Ava, as she slides into the back seat after we see a simple handshake, and Dakota, you're driving, I'm assuming. As you leave, does Ava give like a, all right, I'm doing it now, just be ready?
Yeah.
I'm like watching from the rear view, basically.
You have the rear view mirror adjusted so you can see her very clearly. And Ava closes her eyes. And as you do so, is there any particular thing Ava is trying to glean, or is she simply with the idea of like, I want to see Saito? Is it as basic as that, or is there more to it?
Basically that, but I guess what I would do is, and I've tried to do this before, but one of the pages that, like, I guess the page I'm going to give up, which I will go and get one of the gooder, like the juicier pages that has like some of the writing that
Oh my god, is it in his blood too?
one of the ones that like he's like written some shit that I do not understand, but it obviously is something along what he's been looking for with Sybil. I'm gonna try to like touch one of those pages and do this.
Okay. And so you do. And as your hand meets paper, you close your eyes and you allow your blood to thicken and your senses to reach beyond that of mortal means. It feels as though nothing happens. There's no feeling of falling, no immediate consumption by darkness. In fact, it's almost too silent. And even if, as you open your eyes to look around, you're still in the vehicle. You see the buildings going by. You see Dakota looking at you through the mirror. But everything is silent. You look around a little further, and on your left-hand side, sitting beside you, is not Saito, but a shadow.
Oh.
One that looks similar to you. Before you have a chance to register, its right arm snaps out and grabs you by the throat. Should you need to breathe, you'd no longer be able to, but you have not a chance to react before, with a swift action, you're pulled into the depths of the shadow itself. Dakota, nothing seems to be happening on your side. Driving along, her eyes are closed.
Cool. I usually know this takes 30 seconds to a minute on average.
Yeah, right around. I'll tell you if it ever gets longer.
I'm counting
you just
down
don't
my
see her.
internal
She doesn't
clock.
physically she's
Yeah.
not actually physically getting sucked into a shadow. And as you plummet, the very familiar feeling of free fall reclaims you. A new sensory feeling begins to show itself. You don't hear a single voice or the voice of Sybil. Initially, you just hear a collection of whispers. And as you fall, those whispers grow louder, but never speaking above a whisper, just growing in volume to the point that's all that you can hear. The free falling ceases, abruptly as it began, but the whispering noises do not. The darkness around you seems to move, quick as lightning, rapidly condensing around you, shrinking from above almost. While you can't see it, it's almost a sensory feeling. And as the walls feel like they're enclosing, the shadow takes shape in front of you. But it is not your shape, nor the shape of Sybil. And this is clearly where the whisperings are emanating from. Maybe you take a few steps closer. And it takes you a moment because it's been a while. But the smaller figure in front of you, composed of shadow, is Celia. And then we cut to black. And we'll be back in a couple weeks with the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh my God.
We're off to go do an after show now.
I'm gonna cut
That's
that
it.
now.
Yeah,
bye,
yeah, yeah.
everybody.
We love you.
In a couple of
Goodbye.
weeks.
See you
See
in a
you
couple